Blitz from a corner. And Knowles, nice job to find him on the slant. Knowles still on his feet and in for the score.
Overty to the right here.
Wojak gets to the corner and in. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Medina High School, where tonight we have a great matchup. It's community night here in Medina, and we got two great communities coming together to play some football here this evening. As you get a great look from the stadium through our drone cam this evening, we want to welcome all of you on WCTV that are joining us here tonight, as well as those of you watching on Medina TV and our Medina TV Facebook page and the City Schools YouTube page. I'm joined by Nick Kaplak. And Nick, we've got a great matchup here tonight. We're going to be interesting to see how Medina bounces back, taking a tough loss last week, 53-28 to Olentangy. They kind of had some things to work on game film here and get to turn around and face a tough Wadsworth team.
Right. This is going to be a epic game because you're looking at Wadsworth that's 2-0. Medina coming off a disappointment last week, but a lot to learn from that game field, like you said, Jared. And I think, we got to talk to Coach Laird a little bit today. And if the team stays physical and we have more physicality, especially out of the defense, and we get drives on the offense that we actually finish. We moved the ball well last week, had, almost 350 yards, but, Coach Laird was concerned about we have to finish those drives and keep the defense off the field. And once you keep the defense off the field and you're on the field, not having the quick drive or the quick turnover, which you saw last week, and fumbles, interceptions, penalties. And penalties were big last week, Jared. You had 7 penalties in the first quarter for Medina.
And that led to sustained drives by Olentangy.
Absolutely, and Medina's defense couldn't get off the field. You're looking at a Wadsworth team who starts really hot. They had 44 points in the first quarter combined in both their games. And that was 44 out of the 94 points scored. So you're looking at almost close to half of their points were scored in the first quarter. So this first quarter is going to be where the tempo's set.
Yeah, and then it's a Wadsworth team that's been high efficiency here with their offense. 45 points in their win versus Worcester, 49 in their win against Barberton. And it's an offense that can score with big plays. A lot of plays that you see in those points they scored, averaging 47 a game, were from 40 yards or more. And it's that run-pass option.
Right, and that brings you up to, can either team, because it could go either way early, but with Wadsworth being on fire in the first quarter, can Medina tone them down to get to the half and have something to work for, towards the fourth quarter. But if you go back in history of Medina Wadsworth, and you go way back, if you go back to the mid-'90s and you follow this, these games are never over. It comes down to the very final 4 minutes and something crazy happened. And so just hold on to your seats, buckle in. We're in for a good one tonight.
Yeah, we're glad to get everyone here, and it's going to be key. Like you said, we'll see how that Medina defense answers. They've got to stay patient, stay at home. They'll be on offense first, though, so we'll touch on the defense later as Wadsworth set to kick off to start this game out. And our special teams, Wojak able to take one back for a score last week. So always a threat on special teams.
Yeah, and if Wojak could find a seam early, straight ahead runner, once he gets past that first wave, usually makes a nice cut and picks up all he can. So looking at Wadsworth here with pretty even set, they elect to kick from the left hash and have 6 on one side, 4 on the other.
And we're underway, and that kick's going to sail down to the 2-yard line. Wojak works the right sideline and then heads up. He's met by a wall of Grizzlies at the 20-yard line. That's where the Bees will start 1st and 10.
Excellent kick by Wadsworth. You kick him from the left hash and pinning him inside the hash. Wojak, only had about 2 or 3 yards to work with to sideline. Couldn't have let it go, though, because it would not have went out of bounds. Would have been a tough one to let go, depending on the bounce.
So they'll start on their own 21.
Medina came out last week with a trick play on play 1 and had a receiver wide open. Ball was underthrown, and came to find out today that the kicking ball remained in the game, and that was the ball actually thrown last week on play 1.
Sure, blame it on the kicking ball. Darn kickers. Stoddard takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks back, looks left, nothing there. Now comes back left and just throws it out of bounds, incomplete, as he felt the pressure coming.
Yeah, Danny Stoddard goes through his progression there, finds nothing open, and it's the first play of the game. Definitely don't want to force anything. Wisely throws that one out.
Yeah, Luke Ryder in there on the pressure to get rid of that one. And there's Unique, had a back in the backfield that time to start the game off.
Now we have quads to Stoddard's left.
Three-man front for the Grizzlies, and Stoddard saw it right away and ran it right up the middle. That was a nice read. They shifted and brought two to the outside on their left defensively, and Stoddard just took the sneak up the middle, able to pick up about 5 on the carry.
And you may see a lot of that tonight if Wadsworth elects to bring 3, drop 8 in the coverage. Going to open up some running lanes for Stoddard. A little bit of a check with the coach, change the play.
He goes to run again. This time Wadsworth closes that hole to nothing doing. He's going to get stopped and bring up a 4th down as he gets no gain. We had number 23 in there, Gavin Madigan. I think I saw 16, Jacob Ernest in there as well, getting a stop.
Medina did not punt at all last week, and it looks like they're going out and going for it here on about a 4th down and I believe 2 yards to go for the first. An official timeout. They needed to change the yard marker, which was showing 1st down. Switch over to the 4th down.
That 3-man front still for Wadsworth. The linebacker working as a shadow in the middle. Stoddard's going to go right at him. They're going to get a push from the pile. Stoddard bounced it outside. I thought he was going to be a push.
Looks like he got the first down.
Yeah, exactly. Be able to push that outside. Nice block. I don't know who that was for the offensive line there. Fired off, and it was number 60 for Medina.
And a good second effort by Stoddard. He didn't initially have it, had to bounce back out to the left. And Medina coming out in quads again. And they have Austin Knowles isolated, but it looks like today we have a corner and a safety looking at Knowles. So they have a little coverage underneath and a safety with help up top.
Well, they even have with a 3 down and a linebacker. And there's Stoddard taking advantage of it. The safety coming up to make that stop. That was number 23 on the stop. Gavin Madigan coming up to make that tackle.
Now, very interesting here because the issues you had last week is if 3 guys from Olentangy could provide pressure and you drop 8 in the coverage, the windows close really quickly. And when those windows close, that's when you throw your interception. You're not used to having 8 in coverage. So Stoddard taking advantage right now of this 3-man rush.
Nice slant route run by Knowles. He's going to catch it and take it up to midfield for the Bees.
And Austin Knowles finds that space in coverage. He had the corner sitting underneath and the safety sitting up top. Corner Sean Kincaid.
Ball Wadsworth 49, 1st and 10 for the Bees. Again, back to that 3-man front. Does Stoddard go to the ground?
Medina showing the same formation again. Quads to Stoddard's left and Austin Knowles to his right.
And there they go right back to the ground. Again, it's that the key to this working is I believe it's a center 60 firing off and going out and make that block on the linebacker. That's the shadow. And as long as he seals that, Stoddard's able to get good chunky yardage.
Right, you have numbers here. So when you look at it, you definitely have numbers. You're looking at basically a 5-on-4. And you're right, Jared, if he can get out to the shadow and at least occupy the shadow, give Stoddard some room to run.
2nd and about 6 now for the Bees at the 45 of Wadsworth. Stoddard back looking, looks left, fires across the middle, has a man. Complete. He was at the chain but ran forward to make the reception, so he lost the yard, will be short of the first.
Cameron Hathaway sits down in the zone coverage, able to make a nice completion right out at the 40-yard line.
They need the 39 for the first down, so a 3rd and 1 for the Bees now. Coach Laird, an audible on the original play, got the Stoddard's attention. Now signals in the new one.
And we see a new formation here. We have 3-by-2, 3 to Stoddard's left, 2 receivers to his right.
Good job to step inside that pressure to Stoddard. And a good slide. That'll be a first down. Slides safely down inside to the 32-yard line of Wadsworth.
And that's the kind of thing that's going to be open today. I mean, if we're going to stay in this three-man front with a shadow, dropping 7 in the coverage, should be some lanes open if the front line can provide the protection.
Yeah, and Pete Jarvis did that last time, pushed that edge to the outside, and that's what gave the room for Stoddard there. Now they bring it back into the backfield.
Dylan Whitehill in the backfield.
And it's a give to Whitehill. Whitehill dives forward, gets it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Dylan Whitehill, number 12. Gavin Madigan, number 23, with the stop.
Very rare straight run there for the Bees.
Well, very rare that I've called run this much in the amount of an entire game, let alone the first drive.
But you know what? Coach Laird will take what's given, and right now it seems to be what's given. And now we have some Stoddard back to pass, under pressure.
Look at the patience here, trying to buy time in the pocket before stepping ahead and maybe get a yard or two. He was trying to give his receivers a chance to get open. Nice job by the offensive line, though. When the quarterback scrambles like that, it's hard to maintain those blocks, and those guys did a great job up front to do that.
Right, very impressive job, like you said, Jared, from the offensive line. And then also having a back there, Dylan Whitehill came out to try to seal the edge that allowed Stoddard to get out of the backfield.
So no gain, actually, as we looked at that. So 3rd and 7 now, the ball on the Wadsworth 30.
Looks like Wadsworth has 4 men up by the line. They bring 3, drop the backer back. A lot of room to the left to run.
Oh, he's got wide open field here. This will be a first down and more. Good blocking by the receivers downfield will get Stoddard an extra 5 down to the 15-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Right, Cameron Hathaway came back and, again, sealed the edge, and Stoddard scampers out of bounds for a nice run.
15-yard gain there on that one. And you can tell right now, Wadsworth's secondary, excellent job. They're shutting down the receivers, but because you've got so many back in coverage, it's leaving the open field here for Stoddard.
Looks like Wadsworth wants to bring a little pressure this time. Moving around on the line, trying to confuse things for the offensive line.
Trying to overload their right side, left side of our offensive line. Good time, good throw, patience, caught inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Pass caught by Nathan Angus.
You know, and Wadsworth elects to bring 3 again that time, so Wadsworth staying in coverage.
Gain of 6, we'll call it 2nd and 4 now, ball on the 9-yard line of Wadsworth.
So nearly every play so far in this drive, Wadsworth has had 7 or 8 men in coverage, taking away the deep ball for sure, but the run is there.
Well, this is where you're going to see you're in that red zone. It tightens everything up. We'll see if they start to maybe try to bring some pressure, but right now it looks like very stretched out, trying to stop any type of run. Good presence there. Look at just the patience there by Stoddard to work his way ahead. We get a late flag. That's probably going to be in the area of a hold. It's kind of behind the play, though, so I'm not sure. We'll wait and see.
A little bit of a confusing defense there where we have a holding call on 55. That would be Tommy Prock with the hold. But when things break up like that, it's kind of hard not to hold at times because you have guys spinning around, you have backs coming at you. But on that play, you basically had the tackle who was lined up over the center, and you had 2 linebackers / defensive ends that were split all the way out coming from the edge. So Wadsworth trying to come from different angles with their 3-man rush.
And let's see if the penalties come back to haunt Medina like they did last week. Oh, miscommunication on a route there, and got lucky that one didn't get picked off.
Right, Jack Wojak was looking to go out and then up, and Stoddard was throwing out, and that ball just sailed past the sticks there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 sitting here on the 19. And I think you have to come away with points here, Jared. You're sitting at a 3rd and 14. If you don't pick up at least
half of that,
half to 10 yards on this, you got to put some points on the board on this first drive.
Stoddard looks back, a 3-man front for Wadsworth, linebacker shadowing. Looks left, thought about that screen, came across the slant to Wojak, catches it. He's going to be close to the first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. It looks like it's going to be a yard short, so instead of half, they get all but 1. Brings up a 4th and 1 from the 6-yard line.
And here come the big boys. Going to have some personnel change. Logan Peters coming in the game.
Boy, where's that ball placed at?
In Manifil.
7 and the 6. It looks like it's a lot closer, doesn't it, on the field?
4th and 1 on the 6 is what all the
It has to
technology
get to the
is
5.
saying
Has
here.
to get to the 5.
Coming up with the
Dotted
eye here.
Yeah, the big eye here. And looking to throw out of it. Fires towards the corner of the end zone. It's caught from the back in the backfield. That was number 3, Cooper Josephsic.
Cooper J showing hands right there. Usually the linebacker and a bruising tailback.
And he'll get it 1st and goal as that takes it down to the 1-yard line. See if he comes right back with that power lineup.
So just when you think you know what's going to happen, you never do against a Coach Laird offense. You know, you line up with the big guys, play action, and you're throwing to a fullback.
Well, again, they go right back to that power formation. The give to the back tailback, and he walks right into the end zone. Is that Wojak coming up off the pile there?
I believe so.
It was. Jack Wojak with the 1-yard plunge.
Wow, Jared, what a drive. And like I talked to Coach Laird earlier, and he talked about being physical. That offensive line on that series was physical. Finished drives. They just finished the drive. Keep the defense off the field. Hey, we only got 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. The defense hasn't even been on the field. And, you know, you need those sustained drives, limit mistakes. Only one mistake on that drive. We had a hold, but it was on a play that was broken down. And now we're going to attempt the extra point.
The snap up, good, and so is the kick. The extra point is good. So 2 things have already happened better than last week. The first drive, we had 2 players that had to go out for not having their mouthpiece. We got all the way down the field this time and didn't have to give away. Watch this hold that gets created here. Just follow those big blockers up front. Boy, that was a nice pancake block right there by Josephsic.
And Pete Jarvis, I mean, that is being physical. So the message that was sent in practice all week, the message that was sent in pregame, the message that was sent in film, I mean, it has been taken by the athletes. That was an excellent drive.
All right, let's take a look at how we set that all up before. The pass to Josephsic. Nice blocking up front. And look at the hands here by Josephsic. Goes up tall and grabs that ball, high points it, and brings it down. And that's what set up the 1-yard run then by Wojak. And now we'll get to see Wadsworth take to the field for the first time.
I will bet there will be some excellent pictures of that catch. You know, going up and high pointing the ball and bringing it down. Excellent job. So you got to love it when a plan comes together. I mean, going back to the A-team there, and was it Hannibal? And the plan came together there exactly like it was drawn up, exactly the way they wanted that drive to work. Take what's given, and now Wadsworth has some things to think about on defense. So with only 4 minutes left in the first quarter, you know, Wadsworth scored 22 in the first quarter in both games. It's going to be very hard to do. Scored 22 in 4 minutes.
Yeah, that last drive, 17 plays, took 7 minutes and 42 seconds
Big
off the
scene.
clock. But this big playability there by Wadsworth, we talked about it before, a great return there.
Tyler Probst with the carry. I mean, he had a head of steam and just got one leg clipped, or he may have taken that to the house.
And that's that big playability. This is where the defense is going to be tested, staying at home, staying in their lanes, because this offense, they'll fake the handoff running left, fake a throw to a receiver, then the quarterback's gone up the middle. It's really going to take a good defensive work here by the Bees, staying patient and being aggressive attacking the ball.
Wadsworth coming out with trips at the top of the screen, isolated receiver on the bottom of your screen. Medina playing 2 high safeties, rushing 4.
And back swings it out. Oh, ball comes loose, and it's picked up. Going to the house is Josephsic. Just picks it up on the bounce and takes it into the house from 40 yards out. Right, perfect bounce into his hands. Josephsic couldn't ask for a better hop.
No, Josephsic. Cooper J gets the candy hop right into the bread basket, takes it to the house.
Has the catch, and look at the strip right there, getting it knocked out. Number 25 bounces it right up into Josephsic. And he
That was
takes it to the
Garrett
house.
Shook coming in. You saw Garrett Shook last week causing some havoc, coming off the edge and doing some different things. But right there, he gets to hand it. And again, we talk about fumbles, interceptions, and penalties. There's your first fumble taken to the house.
Yeah, sideline's happy about that one.
And the defense has been on the play for on the field for one play.
The snap was good. Oh, blocked on the extra point. I think that was number 1 that got a hand on it.
Extra point attempt.
Sean Kincaid, I think, got a hand on that one.
Sean Kincaid
Keeping Medina
gets his hands up.
13.
He's a junior linebacker, running back.
So again, Medina has those extra point troubles as that one gets through and gets blocked, but up 13-0, and we'll see as they get ready to kick it off again.
Sudden changes, sudden changes. That's what the Wadsworth Medina matchup has been over the years. And not disappointing tonight. And a ton of game left. We have 3:57 left here in the first quarter.
Well, and like you said, these games are never over early. These Wadsworth Medina matchups are always classics.
As long as there's time on the clock, anything can happen.
And great to see a great crowd on the other side here. We're on the home side. Our cameras are on the visitor side, so your Wadsworth folks, you see your bench there with their backs to you. But a great crowd on hand here from Wadsworth. We're glad, those of you tuning in watching on WCTV, glad to have you here watching with us. And those of you here on Medina TV, we're always glad to have you as always.
Getting set for the kick.
Squibber this time going to try to limit some of that return. It one hops him down to the, or rolls to him to the 15, and again another huge hole up the middle. And, shades of the last play. Yeah, great return again by number 11 Tyler Probst.
Taking the kick.
Tell you, Probst has some excellent speed. I mean, that ball was bouncing for a while, gave Medina some time to get their coverage team down, but Probst goes into high gear immediately, skips first through third gear, gets right into the speed gears, and second time chewing up the field on that kick return.
On a short field for the Grizzlies to work from.
Probst, a senior, Wadsworth.
Stack waiting to take the snap. Looks to the sideline now for the play call. He's got to his back. I think right now you got to find a way to give it back to Kyle Figueroa. Give him that confidence back after having the fumble on the last possession. See if they give him something right away here. Nope, they go play action. Throw it out to the other back, and he slides down for a loss of 3, as that was number 23, Gavin Madigan.
You know, Jared, it's a good thing the turf made the tackle there because there was not a green jersey anywhere around. That would have been a big play for Wadsworth.
Pushes them back to the 48-yard line. Now the big shift here by the front gives 2 backs on either side of Stack. They reads, hands off to the back on his right, and we have a flag come in. That'll be in the area of a hold as he worked it ahead to about the 47-yard line, but we have a flag down. Let's see what we're going to have off that.
Definitely in the area of a hold. Got the ref mic'd up tonight, so we'll hear it loud and clear.
The hold against number 53, Evan Crowley. We'll move him back.
And that puts Wadsworth into more of a passing situation now when you're looking at 2nd and 22.
Yeah, they've lost 12 yards since the early return back to the 50-yard line. Negative play on the first down. Penalty there on second. Repeating the down is second down now. There's the give to the back. Figueroa just bulldozes ahead forward. Nice run there by the big back. Takes it up to the Wadsworth 42.
Kyle Figueroa, the
Like-
carrier number 28. Initial stop.
Gain of 2. Good hard strung run there.
Number 27, Braden Smeagol on the tackle. And if you're a linebacker tonight, you know, and you have an old school running back like Kyle Figueroa, you know, you're going to have your chin strap knocked a few times. It's going to be a long night, long physical night.
Well, and you can't cheat either on this offense. Trying to duck in. They'll make you pay as they go to look deep. Great route. I don't know. He just made the DB go back, and he came back to that football on his outrun. Great pass and catch there as that was complete to Ryan Keaton, number 19.
looking here, that ball kind of hangs up for a while, and
He just puts it on the spot, and Keaton goes and gets it.
have
And there
a
they go to
run,
the ground.
breaking to the
Stack's got a
outside.
huge break to the outside, and that's the explosiveness Stack has. Takes it to the house, 38 yards out.
Yeah, senior Will Stack breaks it to the outside and is absolutely gone, not touched.
That's tough on those jerseys. Luckily, that Stack, when you see him run, it almost looks like it's an 8, and then you have to
That's-
look carefully to see the 3.
And there is, you know, when you play at this hour at Medina, there is a lot of sun.
So 2 big plays there. That's it. Oh, we have a flag before the extra point was up and through. Offsides defense. So now, will that make Wadsworth think, or will they just go ahead and kick still? Usually you do that, you go for 2.
Looks like he's bringing
Yeah, he's bringing in
two-point
teams
team.
for the 2-point.
And a good choice here because Medina missed their extra point, and if you miss here, you know you have the 6, but if you get in, you make up 2 points, which is pretty big
Yeah.
in this situation. What I was saying earlier, if you're facing, you know, the sun shines on the school. If you're going away from the school, you have a really bright sun out there, and defensive backs, I know, have an issue with that, and sometimes receivers when they're looking over their shoulder right into that sun. So they come out with a Stack to the left, trips.
And Stack's going to reach the ball across the end zone, take it in for the 2-point conversion. So after the turnover on the first possession, they bounce right back. And here you're going to see it again, the play action. They fake the handoff, see it even fooled our cameraman. And there goes Stack just to the outside. They sealed the corner with the receiver, and there's no one there to stop him. And Stack takes it in 38 yards later for the score.
And when you got the secondary, that's, you know, secondary this week is going to have to really pursue. It's going to take 11 guys to the ball. When you have guys like Stack running the ball and Figure, you're going to have to take 11 guys to the ball. You really have to focus on your pursuit. Getting ready for the kick return team here. Last time it was set up on the left hash and kicked to the left corner. Returnable, but not very returnable. And so we'll see if Wadsworth elects to put it in the same place. They are setting up on the left hash.
And then back deep you have Wojak, and we also have number 8, Taylon Holvey, back to return for the Bees.
Both Halvey and Wojak have excellent speed. Any seam, if they hit that seam, can carry the length of the field in no time.
And it's going to be Wojak fielding it about the 5-yard line. Looking for that seam as you talked about. Didn't have it, cuts back up the middle to get what he can. He'll get out to the 20-yard line. Bees will take over 1st and 10 at the 20.
Wojak not really having a chance there. It was nothing but red jerseys coming ahead. There wasn't many guys that stepped in front of the red jerseys, and you're running into a wave of about eight different Wadsworth Grizzlies.
So let's see what Wadsworth does defensively here. They saw Medina take advantage of that 3-man front. Do they still come back with that 3-man front? Or will they try to bring some pressure? Looks like they're going to stay consistent with that, try to shut down this Medina Bees receiving core with a deep secondary, and now they're going to come with a 4-man front.
And they're definitely not ignoring Knowles. I mean, you have a corner and a safety sitting over top.
They set up the screen to Wojak. Wojak gets a blocker, works it ahead for a gain of about 6 to the 26.
And if you can consistently get 4 to 6 yards on first down, that is crucial to keep these drives alive. It's crucial to set up your next play because you could do just about anything now on 2nd down. And that screen game is when you don't have a steady run game, it's an extension of a run game.
They have Knowles on an island out there by himself at the bottom part of your screen with a safety helping. They go right back to that wide receiver screen. Oh, I'm not sure why Wojak didn't stay on the sideline there. He had probably 5 more yards on the sideline instead tried to duck inside and got nowhere. And I think that's what Coach Laird's telling him right now.
Right, he did have an opening on the outside, hit the sideline. He may have been gone.
He lost a yard on that one, actually. So now a 3rd and 6 for the Bees.
And that's a mental thing, because when you throw a screen to the boundary, which means the short side of the field, you think you have to get back in because you really don't have much room out there.
Wojak running a nice out pattern there. Can he get back to the line of scrimmage? He's not. He's going to be short. The official's going to spot it just past the 30. They need the 31.
About a
And
yard
so it's gonna be short. Yeah.
And we've seen in the past here, you know, if you're thinking about it, you got 32 seconds on the clock. Play clock has not officially started. So you could run this out. It's a great time for a long count. Let the clock run down. You're not going to get a delay a game. You can get them to jump.
Now the linebacker will probably come in quicker with that 3-man front. We'll see if Stoddard tries to keep it here. Nope, looking to throw. Fires at the slant. Wow, he threw that in some traffic. Talk about pinpoint accuracy as he threw that and hit Nathan Angus.
He had to thread a needle right there, and that was a beautiful strike.
That was between 4 Wadsworth defenders. I thought he was going to go shorter there to Wojak, and man, he just I still don't know how he got that pass in
No,
there.
there was no room, zero room for error. I mean, if it would have been an inch to the left or right, a Wadsworth player's breath may have knocked it off path. That's how close everybody was. So threading the needle, and that takes us to the second quarter. Action-packed here in the first quarter. Bees are up 13-8, driving right now. And Wadsworth's offense has showed some spark. And, Jared, you brought up the big play
Ability.
and you saw that out of a couple runs there.
I mean, there's a reason why they've been able to put up 40-plus a game, and that's because they hit from, like, right about that, like right there was a 35-yard run or 38-yard run. They are scoring between that 38 to 45-yard range with a lot of these plays they do.
Right, and, you know, the first two games, again, say it again, Wadsworth scored 22 points in the first quarter of each of those games. Beautiful view there.
Nice shot there,
drone.
yeah.
22 in each of the first quarters, and here they scored 8, but it's maybe not the Wadsworth offense. It's just Medina's been on the field longer, and that's been a goal this week for Medina, to be on the field, keep the D off.
Stoddard all kinds of time, has a man open, the defender fell down. Oh, that was a missed opportunity for the Bees there. Stoddard had his man, the safety fell down, and that left Wojak wide open. He just couldn't run under the football.
Yeah, Wojak ran a nice route there. He ran past the corner, like you said, Jared, safety, cut to come over, fell down. Medina comes out now in trips to Stoddard's left. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen.
He's looking over there, fakes the screen, goes to Wojak over the middle. Nice sidestep for that, missed that linebacker to avoid that big hit, but still took a hard hit going down at the 45. He's hit by number 23, who's a little slow to get up after that one. That was Gavin Madigan with the stop for Wadsworth.
Yeah, if Wojak didn't use his hands, reach out, grab that, pull it in, and make a little bit of move, that ball would have been incomplete because he had a couple Wadsworth defenders bearing down on him.
So 3rd and 3 now for the Bees.
Using the same formation.
3-man front's going to give Stoddard time. He throws it to the outside, finally finds Knowles. Knowles with a nifty little sidestep move and the speed to the house. Oh, my goodness. What a move by Austin Knowles.
And that time, Austin Knowles was on the side with the trips. He wasn't isolated like he has been in the past, getting double covered. He went over as the #1 receiver to the trip side.
But to plant that foot and that move he made, and then to show the speed that he has, you talk about the speed of Wadsworth. We just saw it on display here for Medina with Austin Knowles.
Right, and any separation with Austin Knowles, you're probably not going to catch him. Medina may be going for, looking like they're going to go for 2 to make up that point.
Yes, you're correct. Stoddard, empty backfield. Wadsworth that 3-man front still, all kinds of time. Stoddard looking to tuck and run. Now fires back at the end zone. Oh, That he threw it to the right man, but as you looked, I think Nathan Angus thought someone was behind him, so he didn't go after that football.
Oh, and I think Cameron Hathaway was going to cut back for it.
Watch this move here as you're going to see the completion do.
Boink.
Look at, yep, just got it. His cleat stuck in the grass as he made that. Knowles made the sidestep, and then just look at the speed as he just goes right by the Wadsworth secondary to take that into the house.
Well, that is going to be some film room fun right there, that move.
Again, another great shot from up above.
So Medina now leads it 19-8 with 11:13 left to play here in the half.
It's a great sports complex. The softball and baseball fields behind the stadium there. You saw the swarm closest to you there. That was a great shot. There, we got it again. Our visitor side there to the left, where hopefully needs some rebuilding. That's why we have the operating levy with the bond issue on it. Hopefully to be able to redo those stands eventually. And then the home press box, as you can see, full tonight. So great crowd on hand. It was community night. They were honoring the class of 2036. Hard to believe we're already talking about the class of 2036.
I know. I feel like it was yesterday. I was out there, with the kindergartners, walking my own kids around. Goes really quick, 2036.
How about we try to keep the ball away from Tyler Probst this time? But he's the lone. Oh, there's the other one. I said they hardly have anyone back right there.
I think they tried to last time with the squib, and it just, like a magnet, went to him. There's the squib again.
It again. Probst fields it at his 22, and again, a good seam. The Bees closed that one up a little quicker this time. He'll get out to the 32-yard line.
Like you mentioned earlier, Jared, staying in your lanes. You saw it that time. Keith Dobbins stays in his lane. Nowhere to run. If you do your job, stay in your lane. Very nice job by the kickoff team right there, but also your plan is to give it to him on the 30 because you're squibbing. You're trying to prevent that long run.
So still plenty of time. 11:07 to go here in the second quarter. Wadsworth now comes out. And see how they react here on offense. Will Stack takes the snap, hands off to his tailback. Just powers and lumbering his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Looks like they're going to give him the 36-yard line.
And I like the pursuit there. I like the swarm of bees right there. When you see a pile of green jerseys getting to the ball and everybody's getting a piece, that's how you're going to have to stop the run. You could prevent the cutbacks. You could prevent the bounces. You could prevent a lot of things when all 11 guys go after the ball.
The key here is these ends have got to contain and not let them bounce the ball to the outside. Again, working between the tackles. A flag comes down. Another big carry. I love the way he just churns those legs and protects the football at the same time. That's good classic running back style there by Kyle Figueroa.
That was a
flag on the play, though.
Excellent blocking by the Wadsworth Grizzlies. You see the right side of the line, just everybody blocks down. You pull the guard and tackle, you run a counter tray.
So a hold by 68, John Byers, and that's going to move him back after what would have been a big gain. Now moves them backwards from their 37 down to the 27.
And that's the second long run that's been brought back. But against this 4-2 defense, that counter tray is open all day. Big down block and 2 guys pulling. You got numbers on your linebacker.
Empty backfield. Now they bring Figueroa in motion. Run pass option, and there's the speed from the quarterback position. Nice job to not let him bust that for a larger run like he did earlier. As Stack was stopped at the 37-yard line.
Looking at about a 3rd and 5 here. And Wadsworth is versatile enough where they can run the ball, throw the ball. They can do just about anything on 3rd and 5. So.
Well, this is where you have to watch. They'll do the play action to the back and try to catch the safety sleeping and hit the receiver on the slant between the corner and safety.
It'd be a perfect time for it.
And there it is. Right on the money as we called it. And there it is, complete for the big play. Is he going to stop him before the end zone? Tackles him just shy of the end zone.
That's that speed of Talon Halvey.
Drew Jones on the reception.
Jones with the catch Nice pass there and run down by.
Hate to say I told you it was coming, but
You said it exactly.
and there's the slant and completed.
50-yard run before he stopped by.
We're- Jared, you're going to be up in the defensive booth here in a minute.
Oh, nice power move by Figure Eight. Got stopped up and just rolled and went to the end zone.
Figure eight going in for a Grizzly touchdown.
And that's that versatility. I mean, the play action is meaningful when you can run the ball. And you show play action just like Jared, just like you said, you show play action, you get the safety to move a certain way, and boom, you're firing the ball right in the seam. And, you know, you didn't get in, but you'll also have a track superstar that ran you down. And next play,
You go to your workhorse back.
great, beautiful run, power run with a good move, and Wadsworth is sitting at 14, awaiting
Going
the
for two to make it a 3-point game. Stack with Figure Eight next to him. He takes a snap, fakes to Figure Eight, now fires to the corner of the end zone.
Great
Defended nicely. Who was back there for the Bees? That 32 I see? Yes, it is. 32 of the Bees. John Estes getting in there.
Pass intended for Drew Jones.
Yeah, John Estes, linebacker, doing some.
There's Figure Eight. Look at that. The spin move, the power in the legs, the drive, and takes it into the corner.
Keeps the Grizzlies score at 14.
So we have a 5-point game here with 9:09 left to play in the half. And this is a heavyweight bout here, and they're just trading blows. I mean, like we said earlier, you could go up 3 scores in this game, and it is not going to matter. Because at any point, somebody could land a big shot and turn the whole game around.
Well, right now it's the turnover, the difference right now in this one. Really the only stop that's happened by either team on these drives.
Right, we haven't seen a punter. We
And we haven't seen a turnover on downs.
And so when you look at that and you look at Wadsworth right now, the only thing that's hurt them offensively, well, they had the tournament and they had a couple big penalties on big runs. Other than that, they've been able to move the ball pretty much as they choose. And Danny Stoddard tonight is extremely accurate. And when Danny Stoddard's accurate, he does some amazing things. Able to do with his feet also, so we got a great half and 9 minutes and 9 seconds left to go here.
The sun finally starting to go down where it's not as much of a factor for either team. This one's going to be kicked deep down to the 1. It's Holvey this time on the return, looking to bounce it to the outside. Hesitates, cuts it up the middle, and he's going to barely make it back to about the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bees.
And right now, special teams is going in the favor of Wadsworth.
Absolutely.
If you look at special teams, they're getting better returns. Medina is getting the ball behind the 20. Wadsworth starting typically 30 or more. So special teams have definitely been a factor.
I still want to go back to your point you made about Coach Laird a little bit earlier, is making those adjustments. A lot of times coaches will take that approach, hey, I'm going to put my best out there and you got to beat me at it. But as he saw in Olentangy, there are some glitches there, and he's made the adjustments here to read what the Wadsworth defense is giving him, and it's paid off so far. Stoddard, all kinds of time. You cannot give him that much time. He will just pick you apart as he just finally takes his time and finds a receiver is complete to Braden Walker.
And there's the key right there. You know, you go back to the St. Ed's game last year. You go to the Olentangy game last week. And when you start looking at it, a team that can put pressure on this offense with 3 guys makes it difficult. But if you can't put pressure with 3, they're going to pick you apart. So Wadsworth, you know, still continues to drop 8, 7 if you keep the spy in on the quarterback.
Wide receiver screen completed. Nice move ahead, moves the chains as he gets past the 45 down to the 46.
That Braden Walker.
Name we didn't call much last week, and coming up big right now for the Bees.
So 1st and 10. Medina 4 yards away from flipping the field.
Again, that three-man front for Wadsworth with the linebacker spy. Still no pressure all kinds of times. Completes that pass. Good job by the receiver to sit down in that zone coverage as Cameron Hathaway now comes up with a reception.
Cameron Hathaway having a big night. Had a couple nice blocks earlier. Moving the sticks.
Moves it into Wadsworth territory, ball at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bees. All kinds of time. Stoddard looking everywhere. He's checked down everyone. Now scatters. Talked on the scramble drill. Tried to find Knowles, but nicely double covered there by number 20 and number 28, looks like.
And what I'm seeing different this week.
Simon Kilker, sorry, finishing
No,
Kyle, not Kyle Figure, 23, Gavin Madigan.
What I'm seeing out of Stoddard this week is, you know, I think his only incompletions right now are balls that he's throwing away. His accuracy and his decision-making is just on point. And I know that was worked on all week about timing and getting rid of the ball at certain times.
Oh, that was nice. They were trying to set up a wide receiver screen. Wadsworth sniffed it out greatly and forced him to check down to number 10. They were bringing Dylan Whitehill out and then back in to run that wide receiver screen, and great job by Wadsworth defensively to stop that.
Right, hats off to Wadsworth. It's one of those weird feelings when you're on a line, defensive line, and all of a sudden you're not blocked. And you know, you're licking your chops, you're coming through, then you're like, oh, wait a minute, you know.
Especially when you only have a three-man
right,
rush.
It's a screen.
Yeah.
Let's get back. And they all stopped, heel depth, got back.
Stoddard dancing, gets pressure that time as they brought pressure, and he's barely going to scramble back to the line of scrimmage. Nope, right back to the line of scrimmage at the slide. 4th and 10. Tough call here.
Tough call because you can pin Wadsworth back here with a punt. 7-12 and clock rolling, but
after their kickoff returns, they've been starting on the 40, so I guess
true.
Coach Laird says, why not give a shot here?
And Coach Laird doesn't like the punt. I mean, we've seen that the last few years because every play.
That's a 4-letter word to him.
Right, every play can get a first down.
And he didn't like his formation, or the play clock was down to 7. I think a little bit of both, and he's going to use that timeout. Can't take him with you into that locker room, so
right.
Why not?
And you get kind of stuck here. You know, you start thinking about what you're going to do, and you know Wadsworth probably here, it's 4th and long, they're going to drop 8 guys. Maybe 7 and keep a spy. If they do that, they rush 3. You know, you could try to run Stoddard, but that's pretty far away to go. Now, you could sit back there, you could scramble, you could wait for things to open up, but then your timing's a little bit off. Or you can just hit somebody right now that you think is going to be open. So that's what Coach is talking about right now. Hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to be in this formation, but hey, our number 2 receiver is going to be open here. I want you to get it to him on time. So that's the kind of conversations you have there because there's a lot of scenarios, a lot of things that can happen here, and it's a huge play.
The best we've done so far in these drives has been those slants across the middle on these 8 yards or more needed. We'll see what they do here. Knowles on the bottom of your screen, working with tight man-to-man and a safety over top. It's back. Stoddard looking to his left and finds his receiver only where he can catch it.
Cameron Hathaway.
Right, you talk about right at the yard marker.
Wow. Cameron Hathaway having a night. Wow. Great catch, great route, and great pass. I mean, the accuracy tonight it couldn't be better.
And that's one great secondary coverage by Wadsworth. He just put it in a great position for his receiver to make the play. Open middle again. Let's see if Stoddard tucks it. Nope, he's going to stay. Looking. Now he's going to tuck it and try to go to the middle. Dancing around, trying to get a block. Then beats it to the outside and scrambles for what he can. Gets about a yard before being forced out.
It's a nice first down pickup when everything
and I
closes
think that was
up.
Madigan that forced him out again. And it's the toughest one because I know Figure Eight's not on defense, but 23 looks like 8. Their 3s and 8s are very close on these Wadsworth uniforms.
And Madigan, that's a name that you hear a lot. I remember him from down in the youth football days running the ball on the offensive side, powering through people.
Ball at the 28-yard line, 2nd and 9 for Medina. Stoddard back, looking left, fires on that slant, hits Wojak. Wojak met right away by number 2, Drew Jones. Takes him down along with, as we just mentioned, Gavin Madigan.
Well, that's one of those ones where, you know, Wadsworth has so many guys in coverage. You're catching the ball underneath on a slant. You know you're taking a hit there. I mean, you're running into a wall.
And he's done that. He's ran that route 2 or 3 times tonight and has taken the hits.
Taking the hit, you're running into a wall, but the wall's moving towards you. So it's a tough night when you're running slants.
Again, the 3-man front with the linebacker spy. They bring Wojak in motion. Stoddard should have time. He's going to tuck and run, but we got a quick whistle. False start by Medina. That's going to move him back. So penalty here on this drive. We'll see how it affects him.
False start. Offense. Number 52. Have your arms all in. Go first down.
So the false start on number 52, Gannon Manifeld, the 6'1 senior.
And those are the type of penalties that when you're rolling like this, you know, 5 yards is big when you get down to the inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone.
Yeah, so 1st and 15. They need the 7-yard line for a first down. Ball is at the 27 right now. Or sorry, 22, excuse me. Fakes the pitch. Stoddard plants, fires across the middle, has his receiver, takes it down to the 11, and complete to number 12, Dylan Whitehill.
Right, Dylan Whitehill coming across the formation. You know, you run that little option pitch fake. You get anybody, like you were saying earlier, to step to their left, and boom, Whitehill's coming across the formation to their right. Excellent play call, and after the penalty, actually wound up in a better spot.
Yeah, they picked up 10 on that play, so now 2nd and 5 from the 12.
We have 4:52 and counting.
I don't know if they saw something. They wanted Knowles on this side of the football, closest to our side. And again, it's Wojak on a give up the middle. Good job following his blocker. He was leading the way up front there. That was 72 leading the way. Big Cole Huntley, the senior, 6'3", 225, leading the way for Wojak. Takes it to the 5, so now 1st and goal for the Bees.
You got Huntley, you got Manifield there.
Now here's where I think you got to see Wadsworth adjust and put a little more pressure on that front line.
And with Wadsworth, you know, historically running a 3-3 for many years, even 2 more linebackers coming in. But this is definitely an area where Stoddard could run the ball again.
Well, you just can't give him the time, is my point. He just high points at the Knowles, and that's why you don't give him the time.
Knowles splits the double coverage. He's had a safety up top all day. He's had a corner underneath, able to get up, and
he threw that, and the DB didn't even turn around yet. I mean, that's just one where that's just those two connecting for a long time, and good job by not letting his eyes give it away. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That where the DB knows to turn around, and that was just a great job by Knowles. Then high pointed it and came down with it for the score.
Kind of setting up for the extra point attempt. Had one blocked earlier.
And the kick, extra point, is up and good.
Kicks it into the Swarm. Country night at the Swarm.
Take another look at it again here. You give him this amount of time, and he's going to make you pay. And Knowles with a nice move to the outside. You can kind of see him at the top of your screen. And look at that. He's throwing that. The DB has no chance to even turn around and look for that football yet because it's already gone.
He's got jersey and everything else. And you see what the DB's trying to do. He is
come up through the hand.
Right, he's trying to come up early, though, and knock Knowles off his route, so it gives the safety time to come over. So Sean Kincaid is, you know, trying to throw a blow early, stop up the route. That gives you safety help, but
right.
Knowles makes an incredible power move off the line. I mean, a beautiful move off the line. And that's the kind of things, those moves off the line that you work on every day. And they go unnoticed sometimes, but a receiver works on getting off that line every single day. And if you can get off untouched, the safety really can't get there, and you wind up with a beautiful play.
Well, you're just waiting here with bated breath. As you know, Wadsworth has just been dangerous on the return game here tonight. We did a great job the last time containing. You can see how he's putting the ball down again. It's going to squib. He's instead of putting it upright on the tee, he's got the ball actually sideways on the tee.
So guaranteed squib here, and good observation, Jared. And we're sitting at 26-14 with 4 minutes and 4 seconds left to play, and that's plenty of time. There could be 3 scores in this game before the end of the half.
You're absolutely right. All right, let's see how this one bounces. And there's the squib, keeping it even shorter. Nice job fielding by the up man.
So
And a late flag coming in. That's thrown so far that I don't think Medina got there early. It got a block in the back by Wadsworth. Sorry, I didn't want to give credit to the guy up front there that grabbed that. 19, Ryan Keaton. Nice hands there to get it and fall down on it. But a block in the back.
it's really hard to block somebody in the back when the kick went that fast. He caught it, fell down, and
yeah, it was Sean Kincaid called for that.
And so Wadsworth still has good field position starting on the 30. I mean, they had obviously had better on the 40, but they're starting on the 30 again, and Medina's okay with that. They're going to try to remove the big return and just be happy that the ball's on the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and this offense, no problem with 4:02 to go and 3 timeouts left. This Wadsworth Grizzly offense, very high octane, can get the job done. They go right to figure eight on the ground, and just that patience. He just waits on his line and then churns those legs and get an easy 6 yards on first down.
And we talk about this every week, Jerry. We talk about the momentum. And, you know, Wadsworth, their best thing here would be to have a long, sustained drive, get in, kill the clock.
And there's a nice give. A new tailback in there. That's got to wait until he pops up to get the number. 15. Popping in there. Nice, quick change of pace back. Nathan Metzger. Great carry there to take the ball up to the 45-yard line.
Nathan Metzger staying behind his blockers. 3:35 and counting. But if Wadsworth can run this clock down, get in, not give Medina a minute 30 or just about anything where Medina can score, you take the momentum into the halftime. So big drive here for both sides. Medina has 5 on the line now, looking to stop the run.
Figure eight going to the bounce, stiff arm to the outside, wrapped up and brought down. Inbounds is the key there. The clock will keep moving. I think that was Jeffrey Marshall in there on the stop.
Sokolowski, number 1, came up also. Now, Medina that time looking to stop the run, had a 5-man line, going a little bit old school there.
Clock still running, 2:45. I'm surprised with 3 timeouts he didn't try to use one there. But again, probably don't want to give Medina any time at all. And the way this team can score quickly, we get a flag coming in. False start, I'm going to guess. And it is a false start to move Wadsworth back.
Now, I would think Coach Laird's in a position now, if Medina stops a run play, or if there's a catch, receiver's in bounds, doesn't get many yards, then Medina may call a timeout here on 3rd down. Try to save some clock, get another score before half.
The official's mic broke up. I missed who that was on. I believe it was one of the offensive linemen.
We're looking at 2nd down and 8 for the Grizzlies.
He's going to look to throw that slant again. Getting pressure, though, this time. He can't get in the pocket to throw it. Great pressure getting back there. Let's see who that was there. Number 89, it looks like, of the Bees.
Chad Gatchell.
And he blew that play up by him getting in there. It did not give the quarterback a chance, Will Stack, to plant his feet and even try to make a throw. Look at that. He's getting ready to plant. Can't do it. And a great job to hang on to that jersey and bring him down for the loss of yardage.
What an athletic play by Gatchell, who's able to stop on a dime and be able to fight the cutback and still get his hands on the quarterback. Surprised that Medina did not call a timeout here.
Loss of 8. Good job using his feet to buy time, and the ball's out of bounds. As Stack just ran out of room trying to throw that down the sideline for his intended receiver, number 81, Jackson Urksa, but could not complete it to him, so now it brings up a punting situation, our first punt of the game.
I'll tell you what, Stack was rolling hard to his right, and Cooper Josephic had an angle on him and was coming from a good 10-yard sprint. There was no way that he could hold on to the ball, run or do anything. Had to just kind of sail that one where nobody could get it.
So a minute 30 to go here. Medina will have 2 of its 3 timeouts left. And dangerous. Well, no, it's not Wojak back there. I thought maybe we'd see Wojak back there. It's Knowles, isn't it? Knowles just as dangerous of a return man.
So we've played a whole half of football, and this is the first punt of the game.
Medina trying to bring pressure. Oh, almost got to it.
Knowles is dangerous
Knowles
here.
has to work some magic here as he fielded it at 30 and gets out of bounds after picking up 11. Yeah, the play there was to get the block, and they almost did. I think it was a decision. Does he go in and get the roughing and get the block, or just lay off? And he laid off.
Right, roughing there would have been a catastrophe for the Bees. So, yes, pull off. If you have a definite shot at it, you're in the air and you can get some ball, that's great. But now we're looking at 1:21 left. Medina has 2 timeouts on the board, and they've got looks like about a 58-yard field in front of them.
Yeah, ball at the 43 of Medina. Stoddard fires across the middle, has his man Knowles right at the first down markers to check the spot. Yep, it would be a first down, move the chains. Clock stops with 1:15.
Really important in high school football, college football. You get the first, you stop the clock, save your timeouts.
And Medina was right on the ball to snap it. Then when they got the time clock moving, dumps it off to Wojak. Wojak, nifty move, trying to get to the sideline, stretches ahead for what he can, and you're going to see Coach Laird use one of those timeouts.
Has to burn it right there with a minute left.
Sometimes that's one as a receiver. Wojak, a nice job to get the extra yards, but sometimes it's better to go down and get the team going again.
Absolutely, and I think he was trying to maybe fight to get out of bounds.
Absolutely.
A little bit of shirt. But Medina uses their timeout, and that'll leave them 1 timeout. And you always want in this last drive here to keep it in case you have to get on there for a field goal or have to do something last second. But as long as you're getting first downs, as long as you're getting out of bounds, you're not going to have to use that timeout.
Right. Again, a great night here, great crowd on hand. It was community night early on. Class of 2036 honored on the track beforehand. They had brats and hot dogs and meals out in the parking lot. A little tailgating beforehand, and just great to have everyone out here tonight for a great in-county rivalry game here with Wadsworth and Medina. And it's been a great game so far. Medina up 26-14. The Bees trying to get something done here before the end of the half, as Wadsworth will have the second half kick to start the game, or start the second half.
Right, and this has been a great – both teams are playing a great game tonight. I would say if there wasn't a scoreboard here and you were just watching and weren't seeing the balls go in the end zone, you wouldn't be able to tell what the score was, because both –
oh, sorry.
No, both teams are been able to move the ball and do some nice things.
How the back judge can throw a flag, I was a little confused here. It can't be a delay of game. You had a timeout.
So
okay, did they have too many men on the field?
They may have had 12. I counted Medina's. Medina had 11. I did not count Wadsworth as they were heading back over.
So that's where you might have the timeout to avoid the penalty from that back judge. So that would be my best guess of what we saw there. And a smart job by Wadsworth not to give the penalty and take the timeout.
Right, and Wadsworth still has 2 on the board, and they're not going to be more than likely using them. So might as well take it, avoid the 5 yards.
Thanks for all of you tuning in and watching on our Facebook page and WCTV and Medina TV. We appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Medina coming out with quads to Stoddard's left, and you see here you have Knowles on the bottom of the top of your screen.
And that's where he wants to go, but now he's going to tuck and run. He's got the right sideline to work for. He's going to try to get out of bounds. Takes a hard hit from behind, holds on to the football, and Coach Laird is not going to use the timeout.
Well, they're going to move the sticks.
Oh, that's a stop for the first down. We have a flag, though. We have a flag. Flag back here at the 45-yard line, so odds are that's against Medina. Let's see.
Pete Jarvis getting called with the hold.
And that's what we talked about. You brought up that great point earlier that sometimes it's hard when your quarterback's scrambling like that and you're trying to maintain that block.
Right. It's very difficult because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. You're not sure where he's going sometimes, and you're just reacting on the defender.
So the ball back to Medina territory at the 49. 48 seconds to go. Oh, he wants Knowles. Knowles is on that short route, but now he's got to tuck and run. Wow. Nice little move by Stoddard to break it to the outside.
Get out of bounds.
Trying to get more, but he's heading to the sideline and gets out of bounds. 37 seconds left to go.
Great decision by Stoddard. risky to work his way out of there. But once he saw it, he could have went for the first down, but it would have been 50-50 on it. Sure thing was to get out of bounds, save that timeout. Because you're only 2 passes away from a field goal attempt.
I just saw the coaches on the sideline yelling at everyone to get back so you don't get the sideline warning. Stoddard with Wojak in motion now. He's going to keep right away.
Excellent call.
And we get a late flag coming in again, and that's a frustrating foul because it's an unnecessary one. The play was already passed, and it was a late hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
That was an excellent play call because you're looking at 3rd and 5, and you know they're giving you that run. And if you get the first, it moves the sticks, and you don't have to use a timeout. It's like a free extra 5 yards. But it's called back because of a hold. Medina going backwards now.
Yeah, back to their 48. They take 5 steps forward and take 2 steps back.
They'll be chopping the clock right now, so the clock is moving. We're at 28 seconds.
See if we try to take a shot deep here. Stoddard rolling right, looking to come back left, now fires it back right and just going to throw it out of bounds. Almost made the stands and does make the stands on the hop.
Wow, this is going to be interesting. You have 4th down and 17 seconds. And you don't punt often, so your team doesn't have many reps at it. And you look at something like a block or you look at a return, and they're going to keep the offense out there.
Do you just let Stoddard pooch one away here, or he runs around for 17 seconds with a 3-man
look at the lineman at the.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, little
got-
trick play coming in here on the wide shot. Look at this. You've got linemen
gator.
at the bottom of your screen.
Got the old gator here.
Let's see if we see a trick play or a quick kick. Oh,
Uh-oh.
boy, that ball bounces.
Oh,
That's going to
no.
be trouble. Stoddard just goes down. All things you don't want to have happen. And Stoddard gets hit. Now we got a late flag coming from the back. We might have a personal foul coming against Wadsworth on the backside. Let's wait a minute and see what happens. Key, though, the sack is not going to be enough to give him the first down, but it could give him, if it's before or after the play. Let's see. A lot of things to break down here.
Sort out. See, they're getting some pencil and paper out for this one.
They're just taking orders for tonight's meal after the game. Because you got to figure if it happened before the sack. If it was after the sack and the play was dead, then the ball is already turned over on downs and they would just move back to start their series. I don't think 15 yards is going to be anywhere near enough to get them a first down, but gives them another shot.
But we're assuming it's on Wadsworth.
It came
You
from the
said-
back.
okay.
I'm almost positive it's going to be a personal foul. But I say that, now he heads over to the Wadsworth side. I saw Knowles clapping. I didn't see what it was, but it must have been something with Knowles and a Wadsworth player.
The illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 6. Wadsworth. 15 yards. First down.
So Liam Russell, so it was after the play. Oh, wait. He didn't say which down. Wait, the first down. Should be first down for Wadsworth because I think it was after the play, but I don't. Yeah, it is
Right,
Wadsworth
'cause you-
ball. There it is. It's Wadsworth ball.
Right, you wouldn't have declined the penalty
Yeah.
if.
So that was on Liam Russell, who got the personal foul for Wadsworth, and it will be Wadsworth. Should be Wadsworth ball.
And they'll just
The,
move them
the
back
chain gang
15.
hasn't moved it yet. They already moved the 15 back, so it's 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line.
And Wadsworth with 2 timeouts here.
And plenty of time for them, 12 seconds.
Right, and they could actually run here on first down and try to break something and then move to the pass.
And quite capable of doing that, especially their quarterback, Will Stack, very explosive, fast runner.
Now Medina in
Oh.
a version of the prevent.
They got to switch balls here real quick. Get the Wadsworth ball in as the Medina one went to the sideline.
Medina in a version of the prevent, but a little bit different because there is only 12 seconds left. And with that 12 seconds, there can only be so many plays. So a version of the prevent right now where they have a line of 3 and 2. Pretty
Great
deep.
shot from our drone, a little delayed handoff. Great job to peel off the block there and make the tackle.
Cooper
That was
Estes with
13.
with a massive play right there because there really wasn't any help around them as you have your linebackers playing 10 yards off and you have your safeties 20 yards off.
2nd
ball down to the Medina 44, but that was just great. He just held his block and then threw him to the side to slow him down.
I'll tell you what, if he didn't, that would have been a big play. I mean, that was excellent job of the old shed drill right there.
Well,
Mestis.
they're out of timeouts now, correct? Was that their last, or they have one left?
They should be out. They used 2 in this series right here. Wait a minute here.
Reset.
They have one
left. That's
they have
right.
one left because they used one there. They didn't have to use
And
one
the
before.
defensive one.
So 1 left, 6 seconds on the clock. They just added a second.
And there's Stoddard on his run here so far tonight. Slid forward. Smart play to go down, not take the hit. Again, there he is tucking it in and running. He's had that ability all night. With that 3-man rush, when they've given him time, he just smartly gets out of bounds, saving himself. Those are things you see that you may not have saw from him last year, that patience and waiting and living to play another day. As this time, again, he takes the hit that time from behind, but kind of knew it was coming. But just the patience there with his run game.
Wadsworth, a very physical team. Every one of those, big ends with a big hit.
They swing it out to the big back. They know they have that timeout. He gets it down inside the 40 to the 38 on the reception by Figure. He wanted the face mask and
that
couldn't
ran
get the
clock
call.
Out.
Timeout, Wadsworth. Please reset the game clock to 1 second.
Oh, wow.
This official likes that 1 second thing. Everything's
Reset.
been 1 second with him.
Resetting it to 1 second. I would not want to be the play clock guy tonight, I will tell you that. A lot of pressure on the play clock guy. Putting it back to 1 second. I mean, I kind of had it down to about a half a second, so I guess in.
Ball foul.
Uh-oh.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 on the defense. 15
Well,
yards.
that doesn't help.
Puts him in field goal
Cooper
range.
Josefczyk, I'm not sure what he did or said, but I'm going to go with what he said because all the Wadsworth players are over on the sideline.
And Coach Laird is not happy.
And now that just put Wadsworth in great field position for a field goal thanks to that penalty. And Medina scrambling doesn't even realize they're kicking a field goal. They're playing normal defense, not even realizing it's a field goal attempt. Coach Laird's going to burn a timeout. Good job by Coach Laird. He saw the personnel wasn't right. He was just waiting a few minutes and then called that timeout.
Medina, final charge timeout.
And like we said at the beginning, Jared, with these two teams playing, there was no chance of Wadsworth putting points on the board in this drive, and here they are. They're attempting a field
penalty,
goal to put 3 on, and that gives them momentum going into halftime.
And starting with the ball. So it could be a big swing. Could be up to a 10-point swing if they make this field goal and score on the first drive.
Now, not an easy kick here. You're looking at about 40-yarder.
Yep.
About a 40-yarder, and you're kicking from the left hash.
And it's a right-footed kicker if it's there. I'll see who comes out to kick if it was there.
Right. So this is not easy. Right around the range of about 40 yards.
Yep. Only if it looks he's holding it a 41-yarder.
41.
Jack Dinwiddie looking to kick and put it up. Gets it down. It's end over end.
Great kick.
And what a great kick by Dinwiddie. Hits the 47-yarder.
Great kick.
So the 1 extra second pays off, and Wadsworth comes away with a 47-yard field goal.
And that right there is not how, if you're Medina, not how you want to end the half. I'm kind of giving up free points there. And
again, great shot there. Sunset, our drone cam, Miles Reed working the drone tonight, giving us those great shots. We couldn't afford the blimp, but we could afford Miles and the drone.
I'll
so
tell you
went
what,
that
that's
way.
amazing. I have not, and look at that. You see Wadsworth going out right there. You see the helmets and the sea of red to the left, and
as the Wadsworth marching band getting ready to perform here at the half, and the Medina Bees waiting patiently in the end zone to take their turn to come across. So just a great shot there, and a great work by our whole Medina crew: Josh Noss, Beck Zwick, Chris Smith, Matt Tomek, and again Miles Reed helping out Nick Kaplick and myself here with the coverage of tonight's game. It's great to see. It's great to see a Friday night when you have both stands full. You've got a great football game here, a 9-point game. Just a lot of energy here tonight, and an excitement to see these two teams play.
Right, you have a physical game, and again, going through the history of this matchup, it is always exciting. So it's almost like a playoff atmosphere. You get so many people in the stands. Like I said, you have a sea of red over here. You have a sea of green here. You have the country theme in the swarm, and it's a beautiful night. What I'm seeing on the football field, though, is two really good football teams that are competing at a high level tonight. I see a lot of aggression out of Wadsworth every single time. Even if it's a big play, every receiver that catches the ball is taking a hit, and that adds up for the second half. I'm seeing the Medina defense now start to swarm the run a little better. Stoddard tonight is pinpoint accuracy. Receivers for Medina are doing a great job. You know, this is just a really, really good game, and it's owning up to all the hype and everything. It's just both these teams are excellent.
I think you summed it up perfectly earlier when you said it's just like a prize fight. They're just trading punches right now, and we'll see who's going to be able to run it out here. As you're going to see some of the offense here early on. There's the quick give by Wojak.
There's some hitting going on here tonight. This is like old school football when these two get together.
And then you watch the fumble and then the quick return by Josefczyk. Just that perfect bounce and led to the score that has given Medina the lead they've maintained here so far. But Wadsworth are quick to answer back. And that's that quick fake that they're really good at doing. And then Stack, look at that speed. And we talk about our side with Austin Knowles. That's one heck of a speedy quarterback there on the Wadsworth side.
And you said at the beginning, he could break at any time, Jared.
And then we talk about the return game. Just look at the special teams, getting Wadsworth great field position to start every drive. And then Stoddard just trying to be patient behind that line, but that defense stout for Wadsworth, able to close up those gaps. And then they attack with the long ball. Now I still don't know how they completed that pass. It's just like those two knew a spot to go to, and that's where the ball went. And then Stoddard, the nice touch there. The Josefczyk on the other side when we had our power backfield in when you thought we were going to run.
That was a fourth down play.
And then the patience here to drop it up and in to Knowles, and then whoop, that quick little step, and then the speed. I want to see those two in a foot race. Put their quarterback Will Stack against Knowles in a race. Maybe that's how we can break a tiebreaker. And there's the good spin by Figueroa, who takes it into the end zone. And the pass, there's that slant across the middle that you're going to see him get chased down from behind, or else it could have been a quick score. They eventually do end up on the score. And then we come back one more time with the high pointing the ball to Knowles.
You're looking at one half of football, and it looks like a season highlight reel.
It does.
So we
for
put
both
together,
teams.
Right, we put together a season highlight reel in one half of football. So, I mean, you know, you look at a couple things here. You look at the Steelers-Browns. You look at Ohio State, Michigan, and then you look at Wadsworth, Medina. You're always going to have a good game. It doesn't matter what the records are. It doesn't matter, you know, what the personnel is. Both teams come to play, and they play at 100%, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
And not only good games, but great bands. We missed the first song for the Wadsworth Marching Band, but let's turn it down to the field and take in the rest of the performance by the Wadsworth Marching Band, followed by the Medina Musical Bees.
Prepare to have your eardrums tickled and your funny bone rattled. We're about to embark on a symphonic roller coaster through the zany world of Looney Tunes, where Brahms could have a running trombone duel with Bugs Bunny. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a musical mashup crazier than a Tasmanian devil on a caffeine binge. It's time for Tune After Tune, sponsored by the Acme Corporation.
I also have a whole gallon that stuff sitting on me too. I get to open it. I'm keeping it as a souvenir. Yes, are they missing somebody? Because I'm pretty sure that may be they're missing somebody. Yeah, see, it's sort of that top corner.
It's time for Raymond Scott's Powerhouse, the musical embodiment of mayhem, madness, and probably a malfunctioning assembly line or two. So strap on your Acme rocket-powered sneakers and get ready to groove to the jazziest tune this side of Albuquerque. Let the madness begin. Sponsored by the Acme Corporation. Okie dokie, folks. Prepare to be serenaded by a tune so catchy that even our trumpet section are all now taking group salsa dancing lessons together. So let's give a warm welcome to Camila Cabello's Don't Go Yet. The song so irresistibly groovy, it's got our trombone section questioning their commitment to brass playing and considering a side gig in Latin dancing. Sponsored by the Acme Corporation.
We have to drop it.
Welcome back. Great halftime performances by both marching bands. I know we had a little audio difficulty there. Sorry about that, folks.
The musical bees would like to thank.
We'll cut that hopefully corrected here for the second half and have that underway. Great, beautiful shot. We've seen it all night long. You can even see the lights of the city in the background there at the top of the screen. So great look by Miles Reed there working our drone coverage this evening, giving us those great shots that we're seeing. And it's been a great first half of action. You see Wadsworth working their way out of the tunnel there and out onto the field, and they will start with the ball first here in the second half that we expect will be just as explosive as the first, Nick.
Absolutely. This should be a fireworks show. Hopefully we can catch some of the fireworks up with the drone. But looking at this is going to come down to turnovers. I mean, somebody somewhere in maybe the most fortunate or unfortunate place, you're going to have a turnover, and there's going to be a quick change, a sudden change, and that's going to turn this game around for one of these teams because they're both playing so well that I don't see anybody that's going to really be stopped on offense unless they stop themselves.
Well, just like any Wadsworth Medina matchup, and you brought it up at the beginning of the broadcast, they're just going to go back and forth until whoever has the ball on that last drive to end the game.
Right. Whoever has the last ball, kind of like you're playing a video game, and they're going to throw it up, and something magical is going to happen. So, I mean, we've been waiting for this for a couple weeks now. We've been, a lot of talk at the school. A lot of the fans have been talking about it, and so far the first two quarters have really lived up to the hype.
It has, and great, anxious to see what comes on the second half and what adjustments were made by each team in the locker room. I guess as you look at that, what do you think are the adjustments that you're going to see from the Wadsworth offense coming out here?
Well, I think Wadsworth's offense is so balanced right now. They're able to run the ball. They're actually able to throw the ball. So, I mean, I think you're going to see that balanced offense again. But I think with the running game, you know, when they're running things like a counter trade and they're pulling 2 linemen, if they can get those numbers and they can continue to do counters, continue to try to get numbers against that, if Medina stays in that 4-2 look, you're going to see more of that, I would think. But again, the first drive of the second half is always the chalkboard, whiteboard, or iPad drive, where you compiled all that data, you looked at everything, you see what's working, you've had ample time to sit down and kind of map it out. In this first drive, you usually see the results of that. And let's not forget, the defense is doing the same thing. So the first drive of the second half is usually the most important of the game, because you get to see, like you said, you get to see those adjustments.
And the key is usually, like you said, those first couple plays are scripted, so they should be executed. Usually your best plays your offense has to get that drive started.
Right.
So.
That's what you mapped out after you looked at all the data. And you have 2 great coaching staffs. So when you have great coaching staffs, they're able to look at that kind of thing. They're able to analyze, and they're able to come out with the best formula to start out in the second half.
And I think the Medina defense, you kind of summed up some of it. I think it's just a matter of some of the simplistic things we used to say a couple years ago about this team. Don't give up the big play. A couple years ago, we were notorious for giving up those big plays, and that's what would kill us in a football game. And this is something we definitely need to look and not do that there. We already gave up the 138-yard run. We got to try to minimize those and make them be long, sustained drives if you're going to give anything up.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You're exactly right. And when you're talking about big plays being the run, though, and not the pass, you really have to focus on 11 guys to the ball. You have to focus on old school pursuit and getting all green jersey to the ball, because every back for Wadsworth is able to break a tackle, able to change directions really well, able to get out in open space, and you need all 11 guys there slowing that runner down and making the tackle. So it's going to be pursuit is I would think the key for Medina's defense in the second half.
We're going to get a normal kickoff as the ball's now teed up like it normally would be instead of sideways.
Upright.
Now watch here. If you see I wouldn't imagine he'd do an onside, so this has to be kicked away this time.
Right, and Wadsworth's had good field position all game.
Yes.
They have not been pinned back a single time.
It's been Tyler Probst, the special teams expert, getting that wall of blockers up front. We'll see what happens here on this opening kick. Kicking right towards Probst. It's going to have to take it. Oh, look at that dead bounce there. That really hurt him from the return, but he quickly picks it up. Look at that burst of speed, and still gets him in great field position to about the 37-yard line. I mean, that ball basically spun backwards and died on the ground, and Probst still turned that into a positive gain.
Right, Tyler Probst is proving to be in this game a very special player. I mean, when you have a guy that can do something like that, where the ball is sitting there dead, it just died like a golf ball on the green sometimes, and to be able to pick it up and make something out of it is huge. And again, they're starting here at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a golf ball die on the green. It usually
I really
just rolls
haven't
right
either.
over.
But those pro guys.
Yeah, exactly. They make it look
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Speaking of make it look easy, Wadsworth made this offense look easy, and it's figure eight on the ground, working the left side. That stiff arm, he's just utilized that 2 times, 3 times that time, and just turns it ahead for a positive gain.
Had some excellent blocking on the outside as well.
Figure eight forced out of bounds by.
If you can seal the edge, if you can gain ground on the outside defender, if you can push him back, changes everything.
Yeah, 9-yard carry that time, and they go right back to him. Again, that stiff arm, but a good job fighting through the stiff arm. Who was that coming up off the bottom there? Was that 27?
27. It's Braden Smeagol coming up.
But it was still enough to move the chains with a gain of 1. Ball at the 47-yard line.
So now you have a first down, and again, the goal always on first down is to get that 4 yards. He'll take more, obviously.
Oh, he wanted to throw the screen, getting pressure though. Wrapped up, he throws it away. Wow, that was almost a dangerous pass.
Tell you
As
what.
Joseph
In and out of the hands of Darnell Davis and Cooper Josephic.
Thank you. I was getting too hot. Josephic, yeah.
Right, on a screen. And, a lot of times on a screen, you have that free run, but on that time, you got to get a little piece of him, because Cooper Josephic is a for his size, is one of the fastest individuals I've ever seen.
Oh, the Bees trying to hustle around to get in position there defensively. Good recovery there.
Medina staying in that 4-2-5 look.
They get back to the ground, and the pressure coming in from the Bees. You talk about adjustments. Right there it was. The Breeze brought a lot of pressure. I see 27, 39, and 13, I think, in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Braden Smeagol read that perfectly, and as it got stretched out, Smeagol came downhill, playing the game downhill, flew downhill, made the initial hit, and you see Cooper Estes was in there as well. So good job by Estes and great job by Gatchel to stretch that out on the side and let the linebacker clean it up.
So now Wadsworth facing a 3rd and 10. You got to watch number 2 here. He's matched up with Darnell Davis at the top of your screen. This play action pass, he runs that little slant.
We have no safety up there.
Davis, a nice job at coverage as the defense got in there.
Cooper Estes again comes through, 13 on the sack, and here comes a flag.
Let's see what we're going to get. Face mask or a hold? What do you think?
I just hope it's something that's not one of the little unnecessary things.
Personal foul on the offense, number 53. 15 yards, 4th down.
Could it be? He's walking up, so I wasn't the first one. I was the second guy. They always catch the second guy.
That's right. And you know what, though? That's the kind of penalty you don't want to see on either side. When you have a game like this, you don't want to see those kind of penalties that happen after. You saw it at the end of the half that gave up 3 points. Yep. Here's one that doesn't hurt you as bad. It doesn't hurt your field position.
Moves them back punting-wise. See if Medina goes after it. They did last time, and they were close to getting it on the early in the second quarter. Snaps back. Not as much pressure this time. Beautiful punt. Wow. He got all of that one. Bounces at the 20, 15. Knowles trying to chase it down. Now scoops it. And gets wrapped up at the 10. That was a heck of a punt.
Absolutely destroyed. And there is 0 wind here, folks.
That's about a 60-yard punt?
60-yard punt, and that flag is just not moving at all. So 0 wind, and that punt was absolutely demolished.
So they pin him back. What a great punt there.
Well, I guess the 15 yards helped them because that would have been in the end zone. So they took that penalty just to get some room.
The Bees stuck deep in their own territory.
And now that's the first drive, ends up in a punt. Medina defense playing really well downhill, getting a lot of pressure.
Stoddard all kinds of time, lets it fly. Wojak goes and gets it. He sat safely in that zone and went up and got it before the corner could get in there and knock it down. Nice catch by Wojak.
Right, that ball was sitting up. Wojak had to attack it. Tyler Probst was there. He would have had a crack at it.
Gain of 15, moves the chains. 1st and 10 from the Bees at their own 25.
Wadsworth staying in this 3-man front with a linebacker spy who's creeping up to show blitz right now.
And then he's just filling the holes as the give goes to Wojak. Wojak, just nice nifty moves to find the tiniest of creases to work that ahead for a big game.
Smart running by Wojak is Wadsworth with the 3-man front. They'll move the guys around. That time the ends elected to stay outside as maybe they were going to be edge rushers, and Wojak able to keep it inside.
And their linebacker filled the first open gap, so he did what he was supposed to do.
Right, and they're giving what the defense, taking what the defense gives.
Ooh, high snap, nicely pulled down by Stoddard. He's under pressure. Now you could get him for intentional grounding here. There was no one in the area. If I was a receiver right now, I'd run right there. They're going to talk. I think they got him for an intentional grounding here. Wojak was there, but he was 5 yards off the quarterback. The ball went over his head by a long way. And there it comes.
The laundry.
Yeah. Now, if Wojak would have thrown a shorter out of bounds, or I'm sorry, Stoddard, you would have had it.
Well, it may have been better than taking the sack right there.
Yeah, you would have lost a few more yards
behind that, and Good job making the effort to try to throw it out of bounds because you really had nothing.
And it's hard to believe when you've got 5 wide receivers out there that there wouldn't have been one in the area.
Nobody on that side running a short route.
Wojak was up there, but he was only like 5 yards off the ball.
The spot of the foul.
All right, then they corrected it. It can't be just 5. It's got to go to the spot of the foul.
So the ball is now back to the 29-yard line. So a loss of 10 on the play for Medina. Second down now in a long way. And here comes Wadsworth getting pressure in your. Oh, that's something you got a receiver in the area.
We got a guy there.
And pressure put in. That was 28 again, as we said his name numerous times tonight. Or no, I'm 23. It keeps getting me. No, it was. I take that back. It was figure A this time.
So figure A get in there. But I will say, you know, he was up against Pete Jarvis, and Pete Jarvis had a good initial block. He had a good secondary block. In his third block, he had to give him a shove, and the shove just kind of gave him momentum to the quarterback. That's the way the quarterback cut.
Good wide open pass. And down the sideline goes number 7 of the Bees, Cameron Hathaway. Again, we just keep saying his name today. Great plays.
Well, that's the thing. If you shut down certain receivers here, and we saw it last year, the next guy steps up. And Cameron Hathaway today stealing the show and just making reception after reception.
But now a 4th and about 5 here for the Bees at their own 44-yard line.
So this will be one of those big-time plays as Medina comes out with 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom.
Stoddard rolling to his right, looking, now fires deep. He's got Knowles. Knowles high points it, pulls it away, and he's still going to go in for the score. Touchdown, Austin Knowles.
Are you kidding me? There was nobody open, absolutely nobody open on that play. Everybody was covered. Knowles was covered, so he cut across the middle. The only guy that had any distance between a defender was Knowles.
And then the ball was underthrown. Watch the ball gets underthrown.
Throws it, gives it all he can to put it up there.
And he stays on his feet.
Wow.
And then once I'll put him in a foot race with anyone. He's going to break it.
I mean, that's a
and
big
take it
time,
into the house.
Big time play
on 4th down.
2 big time players, but that was the only option he had on 4th down. Everybody else was just locked down.
The kick is up and good.
And Knowles did not get that separation till late in the route.
Exactly.
And if the ball, I mean, and you got to think about it, Stoddard's rolling, and he's trying to throw that ball across his body. That's probably all he could get on it. But, I mean, here we go.
Take a look again. There it is. He threw that off his back leg.
Body.
And you see he had to come back for it, high points it, and then just the strength to hold on to it there, not to let the defender drag him down, and then it takes care of the other 19 yards on his own, running it in.
I mean, that is a big boy play in a big-time situation. Wow. Medina now with the lead of 33-17.
So that was a 56-yard TD on that play.
Don't wait for treatment. Go to a Cleveland Clinic Ortho Express Care where orthopedic specialists can see you without an appointment.
And typically you're watching a football game. It's the third quarter with 8:39 left, and you're thinking 33-17. This game's kind of running away. It's not even close to being over.
Another great series here by Wadsworth, and they can be right back in it on just a kick return alone.
So like we said before, a heavyweight matchup here. Medina throws the big punch, lands it.
Little backspin, it bounces again, and he slips and falls. That's the only way. We need the turf to stop him. I mean, it's been the only way to stop him tonight.
The 12th man has been the turf 2 times now tonight.
So they're going to start at the, it looks like 17-yard line.
And this is the worst starting field position for Wadsworth of the night, the 12-yard line. Medina doing a nice job on that last series. Linebackers playing downhill, linebackers playing aggressive. The front 4 playing very aggressive. Cooper Estes making some big plays.
But that usually sets the table here for them to throw the ball deep. Again, they go back to their change of pace back. Again, Medina winning that battle. This is what we didn't see against Olentangy last week.
We didn't see it last week. Our linebackers last week played a little bit on their heels, I would say. This week, you see the read steps, you see them coming forward, and you see them going downhill like right now. Playing the run, playing it well right now.
Yeah, that was Nathan Metzger on the carry for Wadsworth. No gain on the play, so 2nd down and 10 now for Wadsworth. Metzger went in motion. They run a little counter back. Nice lead block by the line, but sneaking through there, getting the first grasp in there, number 89 of the Bees, Chad Gatchell.
Gatchell comes through. He's staying with his man, keeping his outside arm free, keeping that containment, and then Smeagol comes in with the cleanup from back at the safety spot.
We'll give him a loss of a yard back to the 16 now. So a 3rd and 11 for Wadsworth.
John Estes and Cooper Josephic at linebacker right now are playing with some great intensity. Critical play for Wadsworth as you're looking at 3rd and long, and you do not want to punt from back here.
Play action, looking to throw, getting pressure to the backside, rolls away from it, uses that speed to get time, fires down the sideline and overthrows his intended receiver, Drew Jones, down on the sideline. Again, that speed by Stack, able to avoid that backside pressure, rolled out, created space, gave him the opportunity to hit his receiver, but rolling out on the run like that will lead you to throw a higher football, and that's what he did there, going for Jones.
Yeah, tough. That makes it a tough throw when you're moving like that. Jones coming in for the ball, and the ball just sails a little bit over his head.
So now Medina set up. Let's see if they set up for the return or go after this one with it being pinned back so deep. High snap. Still gets it away.
Knuckleball.
Not as solid as the last one. Fielded at the 50, though. Still a great punt from deep, and Knowles able to get about a 12-yard return. And
That's
a late flag came in.
I think Wadsworth had a little bit of a late hit there, and we're going to be looking at a 15-yarder.
Number 2. Return. Block in the back. Number 8.
Nope.
Oh, I missed that.
First down, Medina.
So I got Holby with a block in the back.
I just saw a Medina player go down at the end. I thought maybe it was a hit. Must have slipped. And that correct call there was a block in the back. Block in the back by Medina.
So
That's going to come back a little bit.
From the 35 to the 45, so it'll be the Wadsworth 45 to start this drive. 7:04 to go here in the 3rd.
Medina defense holds again. Playing aggressive, playing downhill, stopping the run. And, losing none the week before, you look at, it's an adjustment period when you have your impact player go down, and now you see a lot of guys stepping up.
The drop back into a zone. Let's see if Stoddard picks at it. Time to look. Now has to pick the ball and tucks it in. Nice job to work both. I love the fact that he moved the football away from the defender. When he went right, he put it in his right hand, back to the left, and then the smart job to slide on the run there.
I'll tell you what, they're going to come back to that play because I believe he had Dylan Whitehill right down the seam early, and if he sees that later on, that's going to be a big play.
A couple yards on the pickup there, 2nd and 7 we'll call it, or 2 yards on it. Call 2nd and 8.
Dinah staying with the 5 wide, 3 by 2.
Stoddard surveys the field, looks at that slant, just can't quite connect with Wojak. Great coverage there by Sean Kincaid for Wadsworth to prevent that completion.
Good job by Stoddard to keep that ball down where only Wojak could make the catch. Never want to throw that one high. Leave your receiver exposed, and you get a tip ball, you're going to be in trouble. Got safety back there.
3rd and 7 now for the Bees. Wojak in the backfield with Stoddard. Wadsworth brings the pressure. Wojak just goes right by the one defender, got tripped up. Nice job with the ankle tackle there to save a first down opportunity. Again, number 23, Gavin Madigan. He's just been a workhorse defensively for this Grizzly football team.
Telling you, he's been a workhorse. I said it before, his entire life. He is a impact player, hard hitter, playing on defense. And if he needed to play offense, he's a great running back.
Keep our eyes on Cameron Hathaway. He's been the go-to hot hand here tonight when you can't get it to Austin Knowles.
Looks like we're going to have a little bit of an injury timeout.
Trying to see who they're... Yeah, they got all 11 on. They're just still a little communication issues to getting their players set. 4th and 5 now for the Bees. In Wadsworth territory, Stoddard wanted to go down that right sideline. Boy, he had Hathaway, but just was focused in, and now he's going to dance his way for a first down,
Wow.
sliding for the first down. You and I both saw it. Hathaway was open by those sticks over on that left-hand side or the bottom of your screen. And
he was open early, but when you have 5 guys out, it is very tough. You start doing your reads, and if you start your read one way and Hathaway's all the way on the other side, you're going to see it last. It's hard to get the ball to him. Stoddard makes something out of nothing, gets the first down, moves the sticks.
Yep, ball at the 33, 1st and 10 for Wadsworth or for Medina.
You know, and that weapon of being able to run changes everything. I mean, if you bring 3, even if you have a spy, you drop everybody in the coverage, that makes it a lot easier for a quarterback to scramble and run.
Wadsworth, boy, just a great job as he completes that to Wojak. A great throw. But again, the offensive line, I mean, Wadsworth's getting penetration, but the offensive line's just pushing him away from Stoddard. And you see Stoddard just give his man a high five, as that was Cole Huntley, who just did a tremendous job blocking that time.
That offensive line is playing with a different mentality tonight. They're playing with a lot of fire and a lot of aggression. And that's something Coach Laird said before the game, that, you know, they need to really play physical. And that's what that offensive line doing. They're leading the way in that physicality.
I mean, again, credit. Wadsworth's defensive front is getting in the backfield. They just can't get to the quarterback. Stoddard looks right, wants to throw it. See, there they are getting in there. Oh, the ball comes loose. Stoddard fell back on it.
That time Stoddard ran into his own man. When he came around, he ran into Pete Jarvis, and that kind of forced the ball out. But I'm a little bit surprised, Jared, that Wadsworth the entire game is okay with bringing 3, maybe 4. I haven't seen that you know, all-out blitz type of thing where you know, maybe on a play like this where you're second long, you might be looking pass.
Yeah, the ball went back to the 20, loss of 4, but those 3 have been getting the job. They're in the backfield. It's not like they're getting stopped at the line of scrimmage. It's just our line's done a good job. The numbers game, you can give help, and
right.
But credit to those guys. They're really working hard in the trenches there for Wadsworth. Coach Laird has to take a timeout. 3:27 to go here in the third. His team up 33-17.
So Medina in a neat position here, because you're looking at, you have about 13 yards to go here, and you might be able to run the ball here because you're probably going to go for it on 4th down. This is a run-pass type of thing, and when Coach Laird comes out of a timeout, you really never know what's going to happen. And last week, you know, we had Stoddard came out of a timeout right before the end of the half, and Stoddard rolled all the way to quads, threw the ball on a post corner, and, you know, for a touchdown to Knowles. So this is the type of thing when you have a guy that has coached offense for so many years, has a lot in the bag of tricks coming out of a timeout.
Again, great work by our crew here tonight. Matt Tomek, Beck Swick, Josh Noss, and Chris Smith, as well as Miles Reed, giving us great drone footage. Great job by everyone here tonight. Glad to bring this coverage both stations. As Stoddard looks, fires
there it is
to the corner.
Post corner.
Oh, Knowles almost came up with a one-handed catch, high pointing that football. He had him wide open for the score, but just couldn't hold on to it.
And that was the route last week before the half. It was drawn up a little bit different. We didn't sprint out as much, but that was the post corner. It's very difficult to defend, and you have to be really fast to be able to run a post corner.
So now 3rd and 13 for the Bees.
You think this is field goal territory, Jared?
I think that's a longer lettered word that the coach doesn't like either too much. Stoddard looking all the kinds of time. There's the man that's been the good second option for him here tonight.
Nice how Austin Knowles came across and threw a block for Hathaway.
Yep.
Get him a couple more yards. Make this a very manageable fourth down. Never mind.
There we go.
There was a hold.
Knowles on the hold is going to bring it back. I was about to say I didn't see him moving chains.
It was such a good block that he got called for a hold. So looking at a third in.
At the, what, 23?
Third and third. Four, no, it's going to be third still. Replay the down.
It's at the 23. They have to get to the 7. Is that about where they have to get?
So third and 15 is what we're seeing on the board.
Stoddard looks right, nothing there. Now steps to the left, feels pressure, sees it's open to the right now as they blocked. He tucks it in his arm, going to try to get as much as he can. Fights down inside the 9. I think he's going to be within 2 yards of the first down. Nice run by Stoddard. The wherewithal to see the defensive end that came from that side go behind him, knew he had that side wide open then to go.
He had a long way to run to get there, but he made it happen.
So the ball is at the 9. They need the 7. 4th and 2. Big opportunity for Wadsworth to get a stop here.
This is good long count territory.
They should sneak that safety up to try to be that next run stopper if Stoddard tucks. And he does
fell.
quickly. He fell, but I think it was enough to get the first.
He fell, he reached, and I think it's going to be close, and he got it.
At the 6-yard line, good job. Feeling his feet slipping, stretched the arm out enough to extend and get the first down.
And there was an official right there that marks the ball right on top of Stoddard there to be able to see at the last moment he stretched out a little bit, get that first down.
Sure he's not minding the moment to get the play call and kind of get himself regathered there.
Must have a wet turf down in that end.
Yeah, it's probably getting that dew here this evening after the sun went down.
Second slip we saw in that area.
Little power backfield again here for the Bees. Flipped out. Wojak just following that line of blockers. Gets to the sideline, steps out of bounds about the 3-yard line.
A little power sweep, student body right. Old school smash mouth football.
I was ready to call that the wishbone, but it's not quite a wishbone.
The wishbone will come back sometime. We can only go through so many formations, so they have to come back.
Well, you got your H-back Hathaway right next to Stoddard up front, and then the 2 tailbacks behind him. And they give up front. Churning. Can he get? Oh, ball came loose. He was tied up, and I think Wadsworth came away with it.
Saying they have it.
I think they do. And it is Wadsworth football. And that's one that you're trying, you're fighting, and great job by someone on Wadsworth to strip that away as Dylan Whitehill had the carry, was trying to spin and get into that goal line, and then Wadsworth able to knock it loose. Let's see who does. Right here as he spins, he's going to try to fight for that 1 extra yard. Oh, yeah, of course. You want to guess what number ripped that one away?
Madigan.
Exactly.
28. And Whitehill, he was holding the ball with 2 hands. He was securing the ball, but, I mean, he had 3 guys, and that spin took him in just a certain way that the ball popped out, and it pops out on the 2-yard line.
So now turnovers even for both teams, and Wadsworth looking to go 99 yards, or is it on the 2? It's on the 2, 98 yards. And they might get it, a big chunk of that right there on the opening run by Figueroa.
And that's a big turnover, and we talked about it going into the second half.
And he's immediately cramped up there. He's got to work that cramp.
And it's such a physical game like this, and there's a lot of exertion. This is about the time where, late in the third quarter, where guys that are really active start getting those cramps.
But a great pickup there. That's up to the 19-yard line, so that was a 17-yard run.
So Wadsworth now on the move after getting the...
And back to their change of pace back, and he works it about back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.
After getting the improbable on, right on the goal line fumble recovery.
As that was Metzger on the run.
104 and counting here in the third. Medina Bees 33, Grizzlies 17.
And then here comes the speed. Nice job by Medina to extend that play across the line of scrimmage and drag that out. Really shut down the speedster Will Stack and didn't leave him anywhere to go.
And we're seeing this week with the edge players, we're seeing that they are doing their job. They are engaged in a fight, they're working their way outside, and their teammates are coming up and help make tackles. It is just so important for those guys to continue to do their job.
Absolutely right. You can see a big change in what we saw last week. Wadsworth trying to go to the air. They set up that wide receiver, or the screen there, and it was completed to Drew Jones. They hit that for a big gain last week.
Tell you what, Will Stack with a beautiful touch pass right there. That's one you can't put too much on. You can't take too much off. He had just the right touch to get it over to the defender.
Yeah, good for a 12-yard gain, ball at the 34-yard line.
And that's going to end the third quarter. A wild and wacky third quarter, mostly Medina, but just when it would look like it was going to be lights out for Wadsworth, they come up with a big turnover, big strip. Madigan comes in and gets the strip, pulls it out, and here is Wadsworth on the march.
Yeah, they could get this down to a one-score game with a 2-point conversion if they can go down and put the ball in early here in the fourth. So not by any means out of this.
This will be a long 12 minutes, Jared.
But again, it's been that defense that bend but not break. They gave up the 138-yard run to Stack, but since that time have not given up that big play.
And this Medina defense doesn't look anything like last week's Medina defense.
No, Olentangy was able to get 6-7 yards at will.
And I didn't think Olentangy's line was any different than Wadsworth. I think Wadsworth's line might even be a little bit, more aggressive. So what I'm seeing out of this group today is just a 180 turnaround.
Well, the key is Figuere's still not back, working off that cramp he went out with. So to the air they go.
Great tackle.
Yeah, great open field tackle there. That was number 1 of the Bees, Camden Sokolowski. And the pass was completed to number 19, Ryan Keaton. He got about 5 on that reception.
And Sokolowski, no hesitation there. Comes right up and works right through the receiver.
Ball at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 5 now for the Grizzlies. The fake, get into the hands of their best player, and look at him break it big. He's just a playmaker with those feet. It just quick movement, the ball fake. Now do we have a flag down or a shoe? Nope, we've got a flag down. And it's going to be a holding call against Wadsworth.
And that's the third holding call against Wadsworth that has negated a pretty big play in a crucial situation.
The hold goes against number 68, John Byers. And that's going to move what was a great run by Stack into Medina territory, back deep into Wadsworth territory after the penalty. The 10-yard penalty will move him back to the 34-yard line.
Well, the only thing that kept that from being a touchdown is the pursuit right there. We had 10 green jerseys run the ball, and that's what has to happen every play. That's what we didn't see last week. That's what we're seeing this week.
Goes to the air. There's that slant route. Oh, they had it again as he beat him to the inside. Had position to Drew Jones, but it just went off of his fingertips. That was a play I had called earlier in the game. They finally went back to it. So they had not really thrown that pass until then, and they had him again.
Well, Jones was open. He ran a nice route. It was a good pass. Just hit off the fingertips.
I still don't. Their best weapon right now is Will Stack, and I'm surprised they don't run that now that Figure 8 is back in the game. But use him as a misdirection, run a little counter and send Stack to the outside, and with his speed, he can do some damage. And there was the no, they did give it to Figure that time, and he was stacked up right away. 89 of the Bees in there again. That's Chad Gatchell Jr.
A little surprise on the play call there, Jared, when you have, 3rd and 11 maybe, or 3rd and 10, and running off tackle. It just
I'd have been more comfortable with Stack taking that run there.
Or faking the handoff and getting the speedy Stack on the outside.
So Knowles back to receive this. Ball snapped back, kicks away. Knowles going to let it go as it bounces short. And it's going to stop right at the 30-yard line. So the Bees will take over 1st and 10 on their own 30 after the Wadsworth punt.
Right, Will Stack just very explosive, and if Will Stack could throw the ball to himself, we'd be in a lot of trouble. Medina would be in a lot of trouble because just an impact player.
Well, the only reason I say that, and Figuere's been a great back, but he's not going to get you that 10-yard chunk. You need a little bit of speed, and that's what you could get with Stack on that, and use Figure as the decoy because of his strength. You've got to go in to stop him, and that'll open up the outside for Stack. And that's why I said, so not a knock against Figure and his skills at all. But
in short yardage, he's almost a guarantee.
So the Bees, look at this, a big shift here to overload. They're not spread, they're tight. And it's going to be a pitch play. Trying to get to the outside is Wojak. He cuts it back, and he's going to lose a yard on the carry. Nice job by the Wadsworth defense to ride that one out, stretch it out, and make the stop.
Coach Laird must have got a page from his first time here playbook back in the day mixed up with the new playbook because that's one of the old school plays, the ground and pound from the first time Coach was here.
Stoddard gets the play call from Coach Laird. They send Wojak in motion. Wadsworth still with that 3-man front.
Beautiful.
Nice little hesitation step for Stoddard to work it ahead for some positive yardage, make it a little more manageable 3rd down for this Bees offense as the ball is placed at the 34-yard line.
Always love the QB counter tray. Again, down block, you're pulling 2 linemen, jab step, follow your tackle up through the hole.
But I still like it when he's back in the pocket and waits to run. When it's a designed run, it hasn't been as effective against this Wadsworth defense as if he just scrambles from the pocket. Loads up
There's the
deep.
home run ball.
Wojak trying to get around his man. Great job by I assume that was a safety and not the corner. Number 20, Simon Kilker. You couldn't play defense better.
No.
He owned his spot and wouldn't let Wojak get around him.
Right, he used his body as a defender, kept Wojak on his hip. That is excellent. Kilker, excellent coverage.
I mean, that was textbook. You want to look up and film how you just maintain your route and not let the receiver get across you. That was top-notch play there by the young man.
Medina, no surprise, going for it on foot. No,
there we go, a little pooch. And what a heck of a pooch.
Kicked it right to the ref.
Let that thing keep rolling.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Oh, my gosh, at the half-yard line, they stopped that football. And Coach is going to be like, hey, can I do that a little bit more to Stoddard? Yeah.
The pooch worked.
Wow.
And everybody was full there, nobody back, and Wadsworth has a 99-yard drive.
99 and a half. I think it's even back that far.
In front of them.
I mean, you couldn't have downed that any more perfect.
They definitely have their work cut out with 8:43 left to go in the game. Down 16 points. Still a 2-score game when you calculate in the 2-point conversions.
Yep.
But they got a long way to go.
Would you call that the half-yard line? Now you definitely give it to Figure Eight. We talk about the big back. Was there a doubt in your mind it was going in his hands there, and he safely gives Wadsworth a little bit of breathing room as he takes it out to about the 3.
And that's what you want on that first down. You just want to get enough where you can get that snap back, have a little more comfort. These guys are right in front
They're
of
right in the swarm. I know. I was just going to say the same thing.
It's going to be hard to hear or hard to audible. He's letting his line know the play right now, but it is very loud down there.
The give to figure eight, trying to bounce through. Someone got him by the ankles down there. That was 13 of the V's getting in there. Number 13 is Cooper Estes getting in there and making the stop.
Figure eight, positive yardage each time. Has them up to about the 5-yard line. It's third and a long 5.
They're just now running a player onto the field. Now they got to run one off. Play clock down to 8.
They may have to burn one here, which would be very costly.
They're still trying to get the play call in. They've got 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and he snapped. There's a lot of movement. There has to be a false start there. There was 2 different guys moving still. Oh no, they're going to get the timeout first. I think I saw the back judge signal the timeout for Wadsworth.
Smart play by the Wadsworth coaching staff. Down to 2 seconds on the play clock, and
yeah, well, like you said, I did not take on the timeout. We were going to get a false start because there's too many guys moving. But right down on the swarm, that's a great point, Nick. They right down there, the swarm getting loud and into that. It's going to be a little tougher to make that play call down there.
And so you can calm your team. This is a crucial play. You calm your team down right here. You know, you need a 5-yard play. You give them the play right now, or maybe give them 2 plays that you can audible out with just a hand signal, because it is.
There's a good picture of the swarm right there. And they're going to get really loud here. You see Mr. Hodke keeping an eye on them to make sure they're going to behave while they're there. Going deep to the sideline here, and all right through the hands of his intended receiver, looking to make the catch with Jackson Urksa, and he just couldn't come down with it. I think he was trying to make that turn and run before he came down with the ball. We got a player down, and I think that might be their quarterback. Cramp, I think.
Really hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly who that is.
Yeah, and Will Stack has really poured it out tonight and put his heart and soul into this game. Hate to see him down. It does look like a cramp.
Well, like you said, these players, we talk about him and we talked about Gavin Madigan just working their tails off. It's going to lead to this late in the game.
And you see guys like that. It always stands out on the football field, the guy that has the motor that never stops. And you hear their names called over and over again for tackles and different things, and play the game at a very high intensity level.
So 4th down, it's going to have to be a punting situation again here for Wadsworth, but I can't see any way in which you would go for it 4th down this deep. Nice to see the young man up, and he's walking off on his own power.
Well, especially with if your quarterback just had a cramp.
Yeah, let him get hydrated and let your defense get it for you.
That would be the guy you probably would want to run the 5 yards.
All right, you're Medina. Do you try to put this one away by going after it?
I don't think so. I think you you're going to get it inside the 50. Your offense has been on fire. I think you let them get it off. No silly penalty that way.
Exactly. A penalty with about 5 yards would be a 1st down. So that's a great point, Nick.
But 5 yards, if you have a good fake in right now and you want to make a really gutsy call.
There's nobody back.
Well, it looks like they are going after it then. Or maybe they have they have the prevent the fake defense in.
Yeah, there's nobody back deep.
So this is not a good time to run a fake.
Back at his own end zone, gets the kick away, and they're just Medina's going to let it bounce, figuring they're going to get great field position. And it's a good kick again. The punter, a great job for Wadsworth tonight. That one from the back of the end zone puts it into Medina territory at the 48.
Right, with 5 yards to go in a crucial spot here with 7 minutes left to play, you're down 2 scores, and you have a great fake in that you've been saving. Medina just took that away. They just brought all 11 up by the box and said, all right, we're not going to allow you to do this. Go ahead and kick it. And very smart play there, because you take all the guessing out and you know you're getting the ball back. And you're literally a field goal away in this drive, you know, to make it 3 scores. And when you make it 3 scores, that really starts putting it out of range with 7 minutes left. But we've seen more wild and wacky here between these two teams over
absolutely.
the years.
So glad everyone watching on WCTV as well as here at Medina TV. I'm glad to share this coverage with you. And there's a pitch. Wojak knocked out of bounds. No gain on that one. Looks to the 48-yard line still. I saw some of the bullhorn playing a siren, so I was trying to, that kind of distracted me because I was trying to figure out where it was coming from.
The clock is running. Wojak must have been forward progress stop prior to going out of bounds. And we're looking at a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and take advantage of that play clock. You could run it down a little bit. And that's exactly what Stoddard's doing. 8 seconds now on that play clock. Down to 5. Snaps the ball with 2 to go on the play clock. Wojak, nice tackle from behind. And again,
tackle.
who are we talking about?
Yep.
That's 28 on the defensive
Figure
side.
Figure with a one-arm tackle.
He's used to doing that stiff arm on the offensive side.
That just shows the strength of Cal Figure, where he's able to grab the jersey with one hand and just make a little yank and pull him down.
So 3rd down. Let's see if the Bees go to the air. I know they were trying to work as much of the clock as they could there, but you want to move the chains as well. Play action pass fired across the middle behind his intended target as he was reaching for it to make the catch, but unable to come down with it was Dylan Whitehill.
And I would say, like, just watching the game, that is probably the first inaccurate pass that I've seen that he didn't purposely throw low or throw out of bounds that Stoddard's made this evening.
Now, after that last quick kick, you think he's making the argument, hey, coach, let me do it again?
Yeah, I would almost bet that's what's coming up.
Yeah, and Wadsworth thinks so too. They're dropping a safety deep. Gets a hold of this. One's got a little more momentum. I don't think that one's got the juice. Oh, it almost did. I think he got a little amped up from his last one. He put a little extra juice on that kick.
I just have to wonder, does Medina even do punt during the week? Is that a special team that they still do, or is this our punt team?
I think they just say punt team and they walk out and count 11 guys. Okay, we're good. We practiced. 2 nice punts there for Stoddard. He's going to have to add that to his resume. Back in the days, who was it?
Cordell Stewart.
Well,
was the first in the NFL.
Well, Tom Tupa.
Tom Tupa.
You want to go back that far?
Quarterback.
Yeah, you younger kids, Google that one.
Tom Tupa, first NFL 2-point conversion.
There you go.
NFL history. Brecksville guy.
There's a shot downfield. He has his man. Great catch. Couldn't keep his feet as he let him too far, but a great pass and catch connection. Caden Shriver with Will Stack.
Shriver stepping up, making a big play there. And you were about 4 inches away there from Shriver catching that in
Going for
stride.
6, yeah.
Now Medina putting 5 on the line. Going with the beefy package here.
And now they drop.
Backer back.
And they go to Figure on the ground, but the Bees close those gaps and only let him get 2. He's saying he spun out and wasn't down yet, but the officials are going to say, no, we stopped it. But again, that's that motor always turning. He's trying to still keep going.
This Wadsworth team has a lot of top-notch athletes and a lot of really gritty players that play 100% all game.
They go change of pace. And look at the pursuit. Again, how many times we called his name here tonight? 89, Chad Gatchell Jr. just pursuit. I thought for sure that Metzger was by him, and he just didn't give up on the play.
And the thing with Gatchell and the thing with Shook, you're looking at 2 guys that they're not giant for the position they play, but they're extremely fast. They can, and they're extremely tough. There's
that play again. That's going to be interference that time. He didn't want to give up that inside position, and kind of used that left arm on the back, so that's going to draw the pass interference call.
And you know, textbook is you get the left arm back there, but you can't grab or you can't have it back there firm. You know, you want to get it back there. Use the right hand to come in front, but you just can't grab.
Number 1, a 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
So that gives them 15 yards and a first, and that's been a very good play for Wadsworth, and they've only run it 3 times so far.
So Wadsworth coming out in a trips look.
And they've got it into Medina territory at the 35. They're waiting on the chain gang here. I'm not sure what issue we have there. I don't know if there's a... There, they're getting it moving now.
Single receiver, Carson Bucks, the bottom of your screen.
I think they had a couple of the kinks notched up because it was only like a 5-yard chain there for a minute. Now they've got it unattached and now full 10 yards stretched out and we're ready to go.
Actually, the single receiver is Caden Shriver at the bottom of the screen. And Shriver is on an island.
Look at that. How you like that? Stack, the leader that he is, looked to the coaches, and he gave a hand signal back to the coaches of what he wanted to run there. Rolling right, looking, fire sideline. Did he get a foot in bounds? The refs say yes. Complete. Again, Drew Jones, nice job on the reception.
That's a really good route. When you come back to the ball like that, you keep coming back, that's a good route. Medina keeping receivers in front of them, though, right now. They don't want to give up the big play. They want to keep everything in front of them. Safeties want to be a little bit more, playing a little bit more deep, give a little more cushion.
They wait on the play call. 4-10 with the ball or the clock moving on the snap. Stack takes the snap. Given, wrapped up right away. I didn't see who got in the bottom of that pile.
I think it was 32. Is that John Estes that came in?
I think it was. Left Nathan Metzger nowhere to go as he was wrapped up right away.
Yeah, Johnny Estes getting the read there and just exploding through the Wadsworth line from the linebacker spot.
Puts the ball at the 27-yard line of Medina. 2nd down and 13.
And that's a huge play. When you have 3 minutes left, they're looking to get a big run, sneak a big run. And
swing it out to Figure in the open field. He's got room to work. And barrels ahead for a gain of about 7. Takes it to the 20-yard line. Wadsworth into their hurry up, trying to get points on the board quickly here with 3:16 to go.
Yeah, Figure and Talon Halvey about having a big collision there. They both went low and skipped over each other.
There's that slant route again. Oh,
great defense.
Now that you just talked about making the recovery, he kept that left hand away and came over the top that time. It was a little quicker that time on the move.
Kept the arm behind in case the guy catches it. You have the hand sweeping through. That's textbook corner work. And, you know, it was last time, but he just got a little bit too much of that jersey in the back.
I think it's a matter he was just a little bit slower. And that time he was a little bit quicker to that move.
You like, you're a coach, and you're coaching the defensive backs, that's what you like to see.
Stack under pressure, steps up, rolls to his right, fires. Pass is caught by Figure Eight. Nice tightrope work down the sideline.
What a block. There was an excellent block.
19, wasn't it?
Yeah, 19, Ryan Keaton came back, got the block.
And that player's down right now for Medina.
If we see
Let's see, yeah. It's going to come right in the left side of your screen. Oh, yeah, I think actually the player down was secondary contact.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the block really clear.
Yeah, it was almost a pancake block. He put him down nicely.
I was just trying to see if it was the hands or the shoulder or what he went in with, and couldn't really see it, but a great block nevertheless.
So now they have to go for 2 because you want to make it an 8-point game.
Yeah, this may be the most crucial play for Wadsworth to get it down to the 1 score. If they don't get it here, they're looking at 2 drives, 2 possessions. And that would be very difficult. So now Medina has the band to their back, and they're giving them the support right now. band and the cheerleaders down there.
So this is one where you can use stack kind of rolling out maybe to get you the time. But Figure Eight just showed his skills right there, catching that one on the sideline, and nice work.
And this will be a nice time to bring the house. Just bring everybody. Put the pressure. I would assume some sort of run here.
And it's the give to Figure Eight. Bouncing, tries to cut back and can't get in there.
He did not get in.
So now you're definitely going to see an onside kick. So you're going to get your hands team out there. As the 2-point conversion unsuccessful.
So coming up, the most exciting play in football, the onside kick. 2:55 left to play. Wadsworth had to burn a timeout when they were down in the end zone.
Yes.
They had to burn a timeout, couldn't get the play in quick enough, and that leaves them 2 timeouts, so they are not really able to fully stop the clock on a Medina drive.
Well, that's the thing, too. And you know Medina's probably going to look to run just for that same reason. And oh, here's that play again. You'll see. Let's check that block out, Nick. No, he gets right in there, a little bit of hands.
He uses his hands.
Yeah.
He uses his hands, and that's exactly what you have to do now. Like they took out of the rule book. You can no longer bring the shoulder or the helmet and really clean a guy. You use the hands, and that's coached up real well to know to get the hands out front and make a big block.
All right, it's funny that it's probably the percentage-wise the least successful play, but like you said, the most exciting play.
Absolutely.
In all levels of football.
So we're going to have the ball bouncing around. What always messes it up, like if it's an NFL game, college game, is if somebody goes early and they get the flag. But
so are you counting on the hard bounce right away or the slow roller?
I mean, I'd be going kind of wide right here.
I'm looking for the hard bounce right away to get it up in the air on this turf. And
there's wide right.
And we're going to get offsides on the offense or on the kicking team.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
On the kicking team. So now they'll move back and just try it again.
On the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, we'll re-kick.
And that's the hardest thing for special teams because you want to be that player to make the play and get it. So you're trying to time it just perfect with the kicker.
Trying to be aggressive.
Well, that one was kind of sitting there, made me a little nervous. There wasn't anyone ready to fall on it right away.
They tried to go wide right there with it, and they had a little bit more. They had more guys over there, but that's a difficult kick to make all the way from the hash. And so now if you have onside kick number 2, that's what you're going to dial up right now. You can go, let's go to the B package, and more than likely, Jared, it's going to be your high bounce, like you said.
Now they're shifting sides, so what you think would be right again. Now watch number 8. Sometimes you have that inside guy will kick it sometimes instead of the kicker. And there's the bounce. And it's bobbled around. It looked like we fell on it. Well, boy, it was the second guy falling on it. You like to see the first one come away with it.
That was a well-coached up hands team.
Is that 17 I'm seeing that came down with that?
That is a well-coached up hands team because what you're doing there, everybody has a job. There's guys in the front that are designated as ball guys. There's also guys that are designated as hit guys. So you might see the ball coming just past you, and you have a member of the kickoff team coming past you. You have to hit him, and you let your teammate recover the ball. So when you do your job there and you don't just go after the ball, you focus on what your job is, you make it successful, because that was an excellent onside kick, and Wadsworth did have one of their gunners there about to recover.
Yeah, Sidney Lloyd able to pounce on that ball. Oh, a little indecision there, I think, for a moment. I think he wanted to give the ball away, and the back wasn't there to even hand it to him.
Well, that's a big 8-yard run on first down, and Wadsworth's going to be forced to use their timeout.
Injury timeout.
So they use their timeout, and it's second and about 4-3, second and 3. And usually you hope on first down they don't get much. Use your timeout. You're looking at the 2nd and 10.
Right.
But
this second and 4, you hate to burn that timeout. Yeah.
And this is 100% a run play for Medina here because they got to get that other timeout off of Wadsworth.
Well, from my standpoint, I'd like to see Stoddard not be the one running it. You want to get your quarterback out of there healthy and not take a hit late in the game when you're trying to ice one away. So let's see if he can give that ball off to Wojak this time.
Yeah, I would think Wojak, or you could do a high percentage wide receiver screen. Or you could
And there you
throw
go.
deep.
He faked it. Oh, and then swings it out. That was a nice play. And Wojak got pushed out of bounds, unfortunately, is the downside of that.
But it is going to move the sticks.
But you liked what there. You had Knowles stay short. He gave him the pump fake, and he took deep, which worked against Olentangy. But in doing so, that opened up the whole side for Wojak to just slide in there and catch that ball.
Right, so basically a designed run, but a high percentage pass that turns into a run. So excellent clock burner, but didn't stay in bounds, but it is a first down.
Now this time I'm sure Wojak will stay in. Bounces off one tackle, and then his own man helped put him down.
So Wadsworth burns its third and final timeout with 2:26 left.
Timeout, Wadsworth.
The Medina is
Final timeout.
not there, but getting close to being able to take a knee.
Not quite yet, as it is a 10-point game. And second down, definitely you get another first down, you're there. So right now, credit to the Medina defense to this point. Only 23 points given up when Wadsworth averaging 47 a game heading into this one.
Right now, Medina would have to take 4 knees, and they're not to clear the clock, and they're not ready to do that yet. Actually, maybe 3. So one more first down will do it. So if Medina picks up a first down, that'll ice it. Wadsworth out of timeouts.
Right across the middle. Man, he threaded the needle, and it bounced off the defenders, and in for the score goes Austin Knowles. Again, I don't know how he got the ball in there, and then 2, how did Knowles break away?
And to have to call the play, Jared, to call the play when you need a couple runs and you're up 2 scores, and to call the play, to ice it for sure.
I think they were just going for the first down and got the bonus there of him just bouncing off the defender and going in.
Right, but to throw the ball right there, that's just a gutsy play. But guess what? You live and die by that. Medina has the last few years.
Snap down, kick is good. I'd love to see, here comes a replay. I just want to see this again. A little play action pass. And he just puts that right down the middle past 2 defenders and then just bounced off the linebacker and goes in.
You know, if you're a defensive back in that situation, or a linebacker, you're wanting Medina to throw the ball, but there's no chance. So you're stepping up and you're like, we got to stop the run. We got, a couple more plays here. We got to try to get the ball back. And then it's a shock to the entire team, the sidelines, and the crowd that, hey, you're back there, you throw it, you're getting the first to ice the game because that's what you do. And I love that mentality. You live and live and die by that mentality.
Great job there. The Swarm celebrating on that one. And
so now
he's ready to kick it away.
2:18 left. Wadsworth has no timeouts. They're looking at a 17-point deficit. It would take some.
Well, special teams, they can get one really quick here in about 8 seconds if they're not careful with Probst back there. Yeah, there's Probst on the. Probst will be on the bottom of your screen as we watch the kickoff come down. They're going to put it right into his hands. 1 hops, 2. He fields it at the 14. Surveys the field looking for an opening, and it gets brought down just shy of the 30-yard line. Now your Medina, you kind of sit back in that prevent defense where you're going to give up a little bit of yardage, but just keep everything in front of you.
Right, and when you're up 3 scores with 2 minutes left, you could be in prevent. You know, we saw last week, Olentangy went into a prevent at one point, and it was like that wasn't the situation. And Medina just really churned down the field pretty easily and used no clock. So you got to put pressure on the quarterback here and keep everybody in front of you.
Yep.
And if you're Wadsworth,
I'm looking Drew Jones.
Right, but you can't think deep ball. You got to think underneath. You got to think something like
keep
a
the chains moving, yeah.
Right, keep the chains moving. And if somebody breaks one, they break it. But you're not going to probably be able to get the deep ball with the 2 deep safeties.
Well, the safety's only 10 yards off the ball right now, so they're not backing too much of a prevent. Wadsworth down to 3 seconds on the play clock here. Play clock's at 0. That's a delay of game. But I thought they had a chance, but then they put a man in motion, and that just killed it for them. So they're going to lose 5 yards and make it 1st and 15. Still 2:11 as the play didn't get underway.
Right now, Jared, we're looking at a tale of 2 halves. I feel like Medina has with some adjustments, and their defense against the run has really stepped up the second half. I think the first half, I felt like Wadsworth kind of did a little bit what they wanted, but Medina had the turnover, the fumble that turned into 6, and some other things, but really a tale of 2 different halves.
Boy, Wadsworth pushing it again. 3 seconds left on the play clock there as they subbed in and out. On the run, firing deep. That's going to be picked off. Talon Holvey back there to intercept it.
And Holvey wants 6. Holvey's staying on his feet. He wants 6.
And he's down the sideline and almost has it knocked out at the 22-yard line.
And that is going to do it.
And you're going to see all subs now for the Bees coming in offensively.
1:54 left to play, 40-23.
Again, throwing on the run, you tend to put a little more on a football, and that's just what he did there. And Holvey, nice job not to go out of bounds.
Great balance by Holvey. And now he goes into his kick return mode.
Well, Stoddard's still in. I didn't think he'd be coming back in. At first it looked like it was subs, but I take that back. He's got the starters back in there just so they can take a knee. My apologies. He had all the second team sitting here on the sideline huddled up. I thought they were coming out.
Well, when you get into the take a knee situation, you don't really want to put in. You put everybody else in. You're going to run plays,
right,
and just want to keep things the way they should be.
And it should be a finish here, 40-23, barring something in the last minute 35, as they will just have to snap it, like you said, 2 more times.
2 more snaps.
So yeah, I want to make sure we thank all of our crew here tonight. Beck Zwick, Josh Nass, Chris Smith, Matt Tomek doing a good job tonight, juggling a lot back there in the studio along with Josh. Miles Reed also getting us the great drone footage tonight. And of course, Nick Kaplik and myself, glad we could be here to call this one for you. It's been a great one again here with Wadsworth and Medina.
And Jared, I got to say, the evolution of this product that goes out every week, and I think back to many, many years ago, it might be 20 years ago, when first started doing this kind of thing with the VHS tapes and going in and out, and to now having drone footage, and it's just I hear so many people in the community talk about this that goes out to their homes, and they just enjoy watching it, and they think they'll say it's almost like watching, or is like watching a college game or something that they would see on the network. So I know the community really appreciates.
Well, I appreciate you dedicating your time here to call it with me, and it's been great to call these. We look forward to calling the next game as the Bees will travel to Menor next week and then back home against Brunswick. So we'll have that game on Friday, September 15th here on Medina TV. But for now, Medina comes away victorious, 40-23. I can check with our guys in the booth if they want to have highlights for us. We can talk about those for a moment. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at some highlights here before we sign off. There they are coming back out, ready to start the second half partying with the Swarm, getting all that mentality ready to fire up. And then again, it was Wadsworth firing it deep, and then there was the interception by Halvey. That was late in the game here to seal it, basically. And a great job running down the sideline. Love how the defense turns into great blockers for him to set the tone, and that's what basically put a wrap on this one. But then you also had the great plays going deep. Knowles, just great plays all night from him, bouncing off that defender and taking it into the house. And then you've got Stoddard just did it with his legs. That really set the tone early. And then Stoddard back, fires and finds it complete again. Again, it was a slew of different receivers that he was able to go to tonight.
Right, Hathaway really stepped up, and
that's Figure a nice job down the sideline to catch that and get that into the end zone. Stoddard answers back. Hathaway, again, just a great game from him today. And then a good run here put together. The speed and the agility of this is a Wadsworth team that's going to be competitive all season long. A nice knock out of bounds, but a great catch also by Wadsworth.
Sure.
But a great team. Both teams are going to be something to watch here come playoff time. So looking forward to how the rest of the season goes for them, and look forward to wish them the best, and all the folks at WC TV that tuned in and watch us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. And a great matchup, even though the score might not show it at the end. It was a great battle between these two.
Right, great battle, and that Wadsworth team is very physical. They have a ton of talent there, and that's going to be a very, like you said, a very interesting team to watch when we get to the playoffs. And they could score at any time, and you said that even in pregame. What I really love today, though, is, when you're winning and everything's going well, everybody has your back and all that kind of, but when you're down, and Medina had one of its letdowns last week, and they don't normally have that. And I know the kids were a little bit down, and coaches were a little bit down, and they came out today. I'm so proud of our football team this week. I'm so proud of Medina's football team because they came out from beginning to end and played this game the way it should be at 100%. And every mistake from last week was just wiped out. And not only did they get a little bit better at what they didn't do well last week, they were great at it. And man, what a football game when you do that.
It was a great game, and thanks to our entire crew for calling it. Again, your final here tonight, Medina 40, Wadsworth 23. We'll be back in 2 weeks as Medina will host Brunswick. Until then, have a great week, everyone. Blitz from a corner, and Knowles, nice job to find him on the slant. Knowles still on his feet and in for the score.
Overty to the right here.
Wojak gets to the corner and in.